Well, good morning everyone and welcome back to Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. We are here in the Royal Commonwealth Pool for session 4 of the Edinburgh International Swim Meet 2025. It's heats all the way this morning. My name's Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action alongside me, Tony Rose, this morning.
Morning, Paul.
Morning, Tony.
How are you?
All right, good.
Beautiful morning in Edinburgh today. Bit frosty. Had to defrost the car this morning when I was coming over. But
well, you've been out for a run.
I've been out for a run, yeah, up round Arthur's Seat. Very, very nice. Great view across Edinburgh. So good start to the day, and looking forward to a morning's fantastic swimming. We had great day yesterday.
We did, yeah. Some very good swims last night in the finals. Well, all day, actually. We had some great swims. People improving their times all the way through, but the big names stepped up last night. We saw some Olympic champions, world champions come through and take some titles last night, and a few of them returning to the pool this morning.
They are indeed. So looking forward to that. We've got, and we had quite a few meet records yesterday as well, both senior and junior, which doesn't always happen at these events. So there's usually a world-class field here, so getting a meet record is no mean feat. That happened quite a few times yesterday. So,
and it is the international as well. You can see all the flags of the participating nations there. Thankfully, we haven't had as big a delay to resort to naming all the flags.
But you never
for
know.
The countries. That's a standby. It's a fallback.
It's a fallback. Yeah, no, it's quite a good one, really. Although,
yeah.
Although it's surprising, they're usually quite similar every year, and you still can't remember. So. Anyway, exactly. As you say, maybe during the 800 we might have to resort to that, but hopefully not. Wasn't any much delay yesterday, so everything seemed to go pretty smoothly.
Pretty good.
One block got a bit wobbly, but that got fixed. So yeah, it was a great day swimming, and looking forward to it this morning as well. We should get the programme up on the screen.
Yeah, a few events to come, a few returning people from last night, the champions from last night. We do kick off with the 400 individual medley in the male and open, and then we have the 800 freestyle for females. That's the only one actually that's not heats, because the fastest heat of that is swum in the final, so the 800 freestylers and the 1500s don't have to swim twice. They don't have to qualify for the final, but the others were trying to make their way into the top 8 for that senior final. Then we have a B final and a junior final as well. So 50 metre backstrokes today.
Yep, Ollie Morgan back in. He nearly got very close to his British record yesterday, and got a meet record in that 100 backstroke. So
yeah, he looked in great form, didn't he?
He did.
Absolutely fantastic.
Super swimming.
And 50 back for the women as well. It should be a close one. Lauren Cox looked very good yesterday.
She did.
And she will go again. The 100 breaststroke for the male and open. Always a strong event. And Gregory Butler will be back in again, hoping to. He was an outside lane in the 200 last night, hoping for maybe a centre lane this time. In the 100 metres butterfly, Rose Van Otterdijk, Kiana McInnes back in again.
Yeah.
Laura Stevens is there as
and
well.
And Ellen Walsh as well. That was one of the races last night, 200 butterfly for females, so that was back in with 100 today.
And Josh Gammon goes in the 200 butterfly for the male and open.
With James Guy as well.
Yeah, James Guy in there. He was good in the 200 yesterday.
It's a great 200 freestyle yesterday. We had 3 Olympic gold medalists all battling out against each other in that 200 free. It was a delight to watch that one.
World champ Freya Colbert goes in the 400 IM, and there's many, many more for us to look forward to, which we'll pick up as we go through the session. As we start with the 400 individual medley, male and open, 4 heats of this one. For the heats, progressively will get faster. There'll be cyclically seeded heats. Last 2 heats are cyclically seeded when we get into the 400s. The other ones, it's the last 3 heats that will be seeded, but we'll cover that when we come to it. Just a bit of housekeeping. You will see on your screen, lane 1 is always going to be at the bottom of your screen, lane 8 always at the top, and those 2 yellow marked lanes in the middle are lanes 4 and 5. Lanes 4 closest to us. So we have 7 swimmers in this very first heat. James Body from Geary in lane 1, closest to us. Benjamin Beale, Derwentside and Gateshead in 2. Claudio Buttarelli from FFBN, Belgian team. Sam Williamson, University of Bath in 4. Simon Laviolette from FFB in Belgium. Alexei Denisov from Tavistock in 6th, and Lewis Maxwell is off to a good start right up there in lane number 7, Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer. So they had a good start. Benjamin Beale and Lewis Maxwell, Derwentside and Gateshead leading the way.
They are indeed. Just merged, haven't they? There was Derwentside was one team, and Gateshead and Wickham, I think it was, and Derwentside right. Had some challenges with pool access and things. Anyway, so they've now merged into the one team, and Lewis Maxwell and Benjamin Beale, 15-year-old Benjamin, 22-year-old Lewis. Was at Bath University for a while, Lewis. He's now back swimming for his home team, and he's just about almost exactly a second up on Benjamin, his younger teammate, here in lane 2. In between them, you've got Sam Williamson and Simon Laviolette in 6 is a wee bit further back, but it's Sam Williamson and Claudio Buttarelli.
Simon had a good swim in the breaststroke yesterday, I remember. Breaststroke all important in the IM, of course. Yeah,
got some catching up to do. But first in, Lewis Maxwell. That's a good backstroke leg from him. You can see he's picked up nearly 4 seconds there on his teammate, who's been caught up now by Simon Laviolette. And he's going to come through strongly on this breaststroke, you'd expect. But it's pretty close, other than Lewis there. There's the 4 swimmers. Benjamin, Claudio, Sam and Simon all within a stroke of each other. Breaststroke's usually the one in the 400 IM that sorts them out.
It's pretty much of a much this year as they go in. We'll see the splits on the screens as they get to the end of this first 50. There we are. Lewis went 40 point there. Simon 39.00. A couple of swimmers also in the 39 range. Benjamin Beale just dropping back slightly on 41 point. So they are closing on the leader. Yeah,
it's often the way in the breaststroke, and you mentioned Simon having a good breaststroke yesterday, and that's coming through in this medley. He's going to be on the shoulder of Lewis as they come in with 100 to go on the freestyle. And at the moment it's looking like those two also going well on 3. Claudio Buttarelli, the Belgian swimmer.
Did we figure out what FFBN stood for?
No, we don't know whether it's the Flanders Federation. We think it's the Flanders Federation in Belgium, okay. But that's an educated guess rather than an informed view, I'm afraid. Paul, we should maybe do our homework. The Belgian coach actually came up to speak to us yesterday. I should have asked him, so missed opportunity there. By the end of the weekend, we tend to just about work out how to say people's names, and we know what all the clubs are.
Yeah. And then we'll forget them.
And then we'll forget them until next year. But it's amazing how many people are familiar names from year on year. This meet's a very popular meet with folk around Europe, and they keep coming back and back. Belgium's been one of them. Got a Canadian junior team here this year as well, which has been fantastic to see. That is Simon Laviolette from Belgium. 4:32 was his entry time, and he's going to be not too far off that.
His teammate as well, in lane 3, Claudio Buttarelli.
Started off with the Derwentside 1-2, but we're ending with a Belgian 1-2 there. And Lewis, who is the long-time leader, just edging in 3rd. So that's a decent heat swim there for Simon. He's 17, so he will be looking to see whether he can get in a junior final, as was his teammate Claudio Buttarelli. So we'll just keep an eye on that for later on, see whether they can get their second swim today. And there's your result confirmed. So not too far off entry times, so that's probably both pretty happy with that as a heat swim. And that, Teo Malfate there, rather than what you see on the screen. Something happened with some of the. We've got a few symbols coming into the.
I think it's the French characters, isn't it?
You think so?
Our graphics.
I think you're
haven't quite coped with them.
Yeah. So Teo Malfate in 1 from Grenoble, Vadim Bosch from Loughborough in 2, Angus Allison, Stirling University in 3, Jacob Burser from Piquelit in Czech Republic, Hubert Gdaniek from the University of Bath in 5, Andrew Bartoli, Stirling University in 6, Oscar Dodds from Birmingham University in 7, and Tom Wilkinson, the Swim Ireland swimmer, in 8. Another strong contingent from various clubs or setups in Ireland here today. The national team, there's Limerick as well, and so a well represented Irish contingent, which is pretty common at this meet. They do come over. One of their coaches, John Sharanix, from these parts, of course, and they're regular visitors. There's Jacob Bursa there, who has taken the lead on that first 50. He had a good 200 IM yesterday as well, and he and Andrew Bertoli. Andrew, well known as a 200 flyer and also IM, so Andrew, not surprisingly, up there in lane 6. The Stirling University swimmer is thereabouts as they come into the 100 fly transition into backstroke. So pretty close there, 0.3 or so between Andrew and Jacob as they move into this backstroke lead.
They look pretty relaxed there, those two, on that butterfly, and Jacob Bursa going along pretty well there as they get onto the backstroke. Bertoli still in second, coming through a couple of lanes down in lane 2. Vadim Bosk from Loughborough, again another swimmer, names familiar to us, the Loughborough swimmer, Vadim Bosk. It's going along well, the 20-year-olds coming through into 3rd place now. You just see the splits there, it's very good. I always think it's great to have the splits here when we're here in Edinburgh. It just shows how the swimmers are, who's going fastest in the pool, who's closing, because quite often from some of the angles we're right at the corner, so even if we kind of stand up and look at the pool rather than the screen, it's quite difficult, some of the angles, and some of these camera angles deceiving in some ways, but splits don't lie.
They don't, and at the moment it's very clear Jacob Bursa is fastest in the pool. You can see there from the splits, he was the fastest final 50 in that backstroke across all the swimmers, and that has translated into good 2 or 3 body lengths lead for him. Represented Czech Republic at the European Championships last year, and he's really got quite a clear lead over the rest of the field. Breaststroke's looking strong, so he's been strong in all the disciplines so far. Andrew Bertoli trying to catch up with him, and also down here in lane 2, Vadim Bosk, who's been in and about it the whole race, but look at that 6-second lead for Jacob. Now, this isn't a circle seeded heat, so you wouldn't expect to see him so far ahead. Only about 3 or 4 seconds between him and the lane 8 in this qualifying into this, and he's got an absolutely clear lead over the rest of the field. Nice shot there, very strong breaststroke gliding through, and he's moving further and further away from the field, and he's going to push for this one. He's going to be aiming for a B, if not an A final this afternoon. So 3:23 there, and 37:50, fastest in the pool, and way ahead. Look at that lead, that's pretty impressive for a non-circle seeded heat swim.
Yeah, it's a big lead if you can hold on to this one. We'll see what kind of time he can register. Entry time of 4:25.74. So he was the fastest swimmer who's not in those cyclically seeded heats. So we'll see if he can get somewhere close to that. If he can, he's got a very good chance.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's just to see what the pace is for the chasing pack here. Yeah, he's extending his lead just slightly. Andrew Bertoli trying to catch up now, trying to make his way into 2nd spot.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get in one of those finals for those two, but I would expect Jacob to be in there for a final tonight, looking like a long rangy stroke. Doesn't really look like he's trying hard, but I suspect he is as he's coming in, and that's a super heat swim for him, 4:27.8. So that's just off his entry time, but way ahead of the rest of the field there. And I'd be very, very surprised if we don't see Jacob back this evening.
Yeah, a lot of the swimmers for the distance events yesterday not quite there on their entry times, were they? That's Jacob Bursa there taking that one ahead of Vadim Bosch and Andrew Bertoli. But yeah, I mean, it's the time of the season, isn't
Yeah.
it? Everyone building up
For meets in later
Yeah.
in the spring, isn't it? Our British champs are in mid-April, and I'm pretty sure most other countries will have something similar. So a lot of swimmers will be training through this meet, working hard, not tapering, so not cutting down their distance.
Yeah, so 4:27 for that one. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good going.
Yep.
I guess
Well,
the
we'll see.
4:25
We'll find out now. Proof will be
Yeah,
in the
here we
next
go.
heat to see how close Jacob is to the rest of the competitors. So Moritz Baumgartner from Loughborough in 1, Pierce Greening, Stirling University in 2, Edward Whittles from Chelsea and Westminster in 3, Charlie Hutchison, Loughborough University in 4, George Smith from Stirling University in 5, Evan Davidson, Perth City in 6, Yannick Wieland from the Netherlands in 7, and Evan Michon from Grenoble is in lane 8. So early leader, Charlie Hudson. He's a Scottish national team member. Second in this event at the Edinburgh International last year. I think behind Duncan Scott, if memory serves me right, but not 100% sure. But he's looking pretty smooth, the Loughborough swimmer here at the 100. And that's pretty similar to the 100 split from Jacob in the previous heat. So he's on a par. And going with him is Edward Whittles, the Chelsea and Westminster swimmer. And he's pushing hard on this backstroke to catch up. Out later in lane 8, Evan Michon, a Grenoble swimmer. He had a good 200 IM last night, I think, as well.
Charlie Hutchison had a very good British Championships last year.
He did.
Finishing second behind Max Litchfield, and yeah, I think it was a big improvement at the time for Charlie Hutchison there. He'll be one looking to try and make the GB team, and I think this 400 IM very much a target event for Charlie Hutchison. So we'll see how he goes here. Looking pretty relaxed. Michon taking up the running, I think, in the outside lane.
It's looking good, isn't he?
Hutchison and then Whittles. Just stroke for stroke, almost in formation there as they go in.
Bit of synchronised artistic swimming. I wonder if they just got spotted that Evan is out there. Very unlikely they might see him now. They probably didn't see him on the backstroke. And well spread out here. 2 English-based swimmers in lanes 3 and 4. Grenoble swimmer out there in lane 8, and he's looking strong. Ivan, 19-year-old. Marcus
Grenoble in the Alps. Have you ever been there, Tony?
I haven't. Yourself?
They held the Winter Olympics there at one point.
Did they?
In the 60s, I think.
Goodness.
You must remember that.
It's like a little Trivial Pursuit game going on here. I don't remember that one,
the
funnily
team
enough.
Is Grenoble Alp.
Well, that's a bit of a giveaway then, isn't it?
So
a bit of a giveaway. Are you just making that up, or have you had that verified, have you?
It's there. Well, it says it there. Got the right glasses on today.
So no, never had the pleasure of going to Grenoble. But, Ivan is really going out well in this one, and he's still got a pretty clear lead on Charlie and Marcus. Edward has now moved ahead of Charlie. See what happens on this freestyle leg. 3:28. And they're all swimming. Charlie's fastest of the 3 on the breaststroke. Didn't look like that from where they've finished off, and coming back well in lane 7 is Yannick Wieland from the Netherlands. Strong contingent of Netherlands swimmers over this year. Second in his own Dutch championships, Yannick. So he's coming through a wee bit stronger on this freestyle, but I'm not sure anyone's going to catch Evan.
Well, one more heat to come, of course. So
yeah.
Finishing in the top 3
Great turn
might be where the swimmers want to be to make sure that top 8. That was a good turn from Charlie.
That was, I mean, yeah. You can
really working hard there.
Yeah.
I think he's got a bit left in the tank. Charlie Hutchison, expect him to go a little bit faster into that final. And this first or second position, wherever he finishes here, I think it's going to guarantee him a place. Great swim from the outside lane, though. Michon will take that one. And a good last 50 as well. 28.50. Well done for him. Charlie Hutchison. And None of them. Oh, in fact,
Yeah,
Michonne just faster than the previous heat by 7/100. So that was a very good swim from Bursa in that previous heat. But you would think Michonne, Charlie Hutchison, going to be safe enough.
Yep.
Marcel Whittles as well should make it with that. Jannik Veiland will have a close eye on this heat to come.
And the last heat clearly know what they've got to do now to get into, although there's a B final as well, so I expect all of them will be reasonably safe for that. But they'll want to get in that A final, or super final, as we're calling them at the Edinburgh International.
Oh, super final.
They are super finals.
Oh, I was calling them a senior final.
No, it's super finals, I think. So
didn't get the memo.
No.
Okay.
So into this final heat, Isaac Dodds, University of Bath in 1, Iason Rutulas from SK Roy and in Greece, David Annis from Stirling University in 3, Max Litchfield, Loughborough Performance Centre in 4, Thomas Janssen from the Netherlands in 5, Michael Judic from Bohemians in Czech Republic in 6, Finlay Davis, Stirling University swimmer in 7, and Cameron Rapson, also Stirling University, in 8. So Max Litchfield, as you've said earlier, was the winner of that British Championships Olympic trials last year, and went on to just miss out again on a medal at the Olympics. Is that the third Olympics in a row that he's got 4th place?
I think
unbelievable.
So. Very, very close.
He was
to the
so close.
Positions. Medalist at the World Championships last year, early in the year in Doha, and again, he's been one of the world's very best over, well, almost like a decade.
Yeah,
now, you
it
would
will
imagine.
be. Yeah, I think if he's given he's 30 this year, it will have been a decade. So it's still keeping going, though, Max. And that was much faster. That 58 for his 100 fly first leg. That's the fastest we've seen this morning. A good couple of seconds faster than the winners of the previous 2 heats. So looking strong, Max. Lane 2, Iason Rutulas, Czech Republic swimmer. He's trying to go with him. He's, sorry, the Greek swimmer, I should say. He was 7th at the European Juniors last year, Iason. So he's still got a year to go. He's still only 18 this year, so he's likely to be back at European Juniors again. And I've got a few Greek swimmers here this weekend, and they've been performing very well. David just out touched in the 200 breaststroke last night, but it's no doubt about it. Max Litchfield in halfway, 2:06, and fastest in the pool, and he's pulling away, and that's quite a bit faster than the previous heat. So not hanging about here, Max.
No, he's doing really well, Max Litchfield, as you would expect for swimmer of his quality. Definitely quality of the field here in this last heat. Be making sure of that place in the final. And I remember him from the trials last year. Him and his brother both made the Olympic team last year.
Yep.
And I think I'm right in saying that it was his dad that presented one
That's
of the
right.
medals.
So they did that last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
For the medals at the Olympic trials, they had family members or good friends. They must have had a lineup waiting to see who won, unless they had some sixth sense as to who was going to win all these things. But they must have had a selection of family or friends from people who were likely to win in each of the presentations at the Olympic pool last year.
I was commentating. I was right on pool deck where everyone was. Everyone came off after the medal ceremonies. It was all getting a little bit emotional.
Oh, that's nice.
After these medal ceremonies.
Did you manage to keep your professional composure, Paul? Didn't get drawn
well,
into the emotion.
That's it, exactly. I tried my best.
That was good meet though, wasn't it?
It was great last time. Trials back in London again in a month's time. I'm sure Max over there trying to make his way into the World Championships, and he's looking in great shape here. Second place, one lane up, Thomas Janssen from the Netherlands. Netherlands got a squad here, and they featured very heavily in the final session last night, so expect that again tonight.
Yeah, Thomas was third in this event at Edinburgh International last year, behind Charlie Hutchison and Duncan, and looks like he's comfortably getting himself into that final again, although it's going to be a tough ask to catch Max Litchfield in this race and later on this afternoon, but we'll wait and see. He's good 8 seconds ahead of the rest of the field in qualifying into this event. Not going to get anywhere near that in the heat this morning, but looks pretty comfy. And he's going to be the fastest.
Might get 4, possibly 3 or 4 into this top 8, Tony.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be close for Michelle Judicki. But Litchfield's definitely going to be in. Thomas Jansen will be there. Tullis, I think, will be in that top 8.
It's pretty tight, though.
Yeah.
So we'll get the names of the swimmers across the butts, that heat confirmed there on the screen, and then in a minute we'll get scrolled through every swimmer in that event, and it will then let you see provisionally who are in the finals, the A and B finals. Juniors are a bit more tricky to work out, but there's an afternoon session as well. So there we go. And that's your finalists. Bunched up at the end there, but Edward Whittles has just snuck in.
Oh, the 4:31 range.
Yeah.
And Bursa made it from that second heat. In a great position, wasn't he?
And then we have the B final for the moment anyway. So Yannick Wieland all the way through to Moritz Baumgartner. And Finlay Davis just missing out, although Finlay, he's 19 now, so he won't get a chance in that, so he's going to be a reserve. Just missed out by a few tenths of a second there, and that's running through.
Of course, this afternoon swims will count towards these positions as well, Tony. It's the slower swimmers generally, but we did see one swimmer yesterday force their way into an A final.
It was a remarkable swim. Can't remember the name of the swimmer now, but swam in the afternoon, got themselves into an A final, but a number of swimmers did get themselves into the B, and especially the junior finals. This is doesn't happen very often, but the meet is pretty stacked, and so it's a lot of good junior and senior swimmers swimming in the afternoon, and a lot of them making themselves into junior and B finals. And that's on this afternoon, 12:30, I think, if you want to come back this afternoon. But back in the pool at the moment. We're now moving on to a slightly longer event. This is the female 800 freestyle. We've got 2 heats this morning, and then we'll have the fastest heat this evening in the final session. So these are heat declared winners, as Paul was saying earlier. So they only have to do this one time at meets like this. When you get to major championships, there'll be heats and finals over different days, but at this Edinburgh International meet, only 3 days of swimming, so heat declared winners for the 8s and the 1500s. And in this one we have Kaylin Hall, University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 1, Michelle Zheng, one of the numerous number of Canadian junior swimmers, a Canadian national junior team over for this meet, and they've been pretty much dominating a lot of these junior finals. And Michelle Zheng swam in a couple of finals yesterday. Sana Lafala, Repton School in lane 3, Abby Mitchell, Swansea University in 4, Abigail McLeod, one of these Canadian junior swimmers in 5, Amber Hinton, Dumfries in lane 6, and Katie Otterson, the Newcastle swimmer, is in lane 7. So, 2 heats of this morning. Some of these swimmers were in the 400s yesterday, so it's female 400 freestyle yesterday. I'm pretty sure Michelle Zheng and was featured in that junior final of the 400 freestyle. A good swim.
Yeah, she finished pretty strongly actually. There were 2 finals last night for Michelle Zheng. Both of them she finished really quite strongly at the end. But she's going down there in lane number 2, not featuring in the early stages. Abigail McLeod, her teammate, was doing that, 105.21. The entry times for these swimmers in this heat, just in the low 9-minute mark. So 9:09 for Abby Mitchell is the fastest. Be good to see if someone can maybe challenge that 9-minute barrier. That's good, isn't it?
That would be good. Swansea University swimmer going out hard though. In lane 5 is Abigail McLeod. She's got pretty significant lead at this early stage of an 800 freestyle. Don't know whether she's got a completely different tactic to the others in terms of going out hard and holding on, or whether she's just feeling particularly good and decided just to go for it. But already 2 or 3 body lengths up on the rest of the field, and they're all pretty much in a line.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the splits here, see if she's going to be trying to challenge that 9-minute mark. Certainly gone out really fast though.
Yeah.
We'll have a look, see where she's lying here. 105 for the first 100 and 214 at 200 mark. So what's that, Tony? 109?
109, yep.
About 110 mark almost. That's easy for ease of calculations.
109.5 just to think, but that's so if she can stick at the 69s. So what's that? 69.54. Yeah, she'll be around about the 9 minutes, maybe slightly over, but we'll see whether she can carry on with these 69 100s. But she's not getting drawn back yet. There's still quite a way to go. We've still got 550 of this race. But you can see from the split, she's still one of the fastest in the pool. So she's looking at maintaining that lead. Canadians doing a bit of reciprocity here. The GB team's gone out to the Ontario meet in December every year for the last 3 or 4 years, I think, if not longer. And so it's good to have some Canadians over here. I'm not sure we've had them at this meet before. So,
we've had 1 or 2 Canadians,
but
I
not
think,
a full squad.
Not a team,
not a full junior squad. So, so what's that? 324.7. So that's a 110.
Canadians brought a big squad to the para meet that was in Aberdeen last year, last February, and they said it was cold.
Canadians saying it was cold. My goodness.
In Aberdeen, it was freezing.
You think in Canada? I've been to Canada quite a few times, and it was cold there too this time of the year.
Well, it made them feel at home.
Yeah, true. But slightly surprising having Canadians complain about being too cold, and
maybe they're from Vancouver or something like that.
Maybe that was the problem. Fair weather Canadians. But maybe they got a good taste of Scotland when they came last year, and they've decided to send their squad to this as well, so that's good. Bit of a resurgence in Canadian swimming the last 3-4 years. Kind of went into the doldrums a wee bit in the early 2000s, I think. They just
they had 1 or 2 individuals. The was it a distance man, Ryan Cochrane, was always he was almost a standard bearer for a little while, but they've come back.
They have come
female
back.
Swimmers really,
very,
really
very strong
in the last little while in terms of Olympics and World Championships. Commonwealth Games, of course, always a strong nation, and I'm sure they'll be back next year for Glasgow. That's exciting for everyone, that announcement that Glasgow hosting those Commonwealth Games. Yep,
very exciting indeed. It'd be a shame to lose that meet. It's quite it's a real formative meet for a lot of these swimmers. A big stepping stone. Well, it's a good end in itself, but it's a stepping stone for many of the home nation swimmers and others to get a taste of that international programme competition, and then move on to the Olympics and World Championships. But Abigail is maintaining this pace here. She's in those 34s, and the rest of them are also at that same pace, but just not catching her. So so she's done over. This is going to be 500 at this turn, and I wonder, are we going to get your hope of a sub 9 minute? Do you think, Paul? I think she's just maybe needs to pick it up a bit, doesn't she?
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to get the calculators out for this one as they come in to the bottom end now, and that's a 500 metre mark.
It's another 110.
So it's pretty consistent there.
Very consistent.
McLeod.
Yeah, very consistent.
Again, you can see from the times there, she is stretching her lead away. Her teammate's coming back now. As we said, Michelle Zing seemed to finish very, very strongly in the races that we saw yesterday. So she's maybe got different tactics from her teammate, but she's got a long way to catch up. The gap is quite substantial now. And as you can see from the lane markers, 5 lengths to go. And if Michelle Zing is going to try and catch her teammate, she's going to have to make a move now. But looks like Abigail McLeod is still stretching away. 6:18.65, so she's looking in good shape. She's still looking pretty comfortable.
That was a good shot there. You just got a quick shot of her looking back and seeing her her teammate Michelle Zeng, so she knows she's got a good lead over her. But she had a wee sneaky look. But she's coming in with 200 to go, and she's picked the pace up on that one.
Yeah, 34.46.
So that was a 69. That was she's a good swim. It's not going to be under that 9 minutes, I don't think, but it's going to be not too far off her entry time. So she came in on a 9:15. I think she's probably ahead of that. So this has been a really good swim for Abigail McLeod. Good Scottish name there.
Yeah, must be some Scottish heritage
You'd
somewhere.
think so. You'd think so.
And there is Abigail McLeod there.
So
Yeah, what did she come in? 9:09.40 at her entry time. Michelle Zeng 9:15. So they may both be on track for an improvement. McLeod going away now. She's going to take the belt at the bottom. So that always gives a little spurt of energy when they hear that belt. At the last 100 to go.
It's a great sound.
800.
Amber Hinton, just give her a mention. Dumfries swimmer there out in lane 6. She's come through nicely. Junior national member, team member for Scotland, and national age group champion. The youngster from Dumfries has had a good second half to this 800, so she's the only one really challenging any of the Canadian swimmers, and she might have Michelle in her sights, so that's to look out for in that final 50, because she's certainly there or thereabouts. But no doubt about it, it's going to be Abigail McLeod to take this one. She's gone out right from the very first, didn't she? First 50, she was a good couple of metres up and has just maintained and extended that lead.
It needs to just get down to the 33 range if she's going to challenge that entry time of 9:09.40. She's going to be very, very close to that indeed. Let's hope she can just dip under that one, but nevertheless, it's been a great swim here from Abigail McLeod, the 15-year-old Canadian junior team member. 9:09.40. Just slipped by, but not by much. She did get in the 33 range, and just a couple of tens, a few tens shy of her entry time. 9:15 for Michelle Zeng, 9:15.11, and that's an improvement of a couple of tenths. Amber Hinton, 9:16.51 in third place. She finished well, and she's there or thereabouts for her entry time of 9:15 as well. So 3 great swims at the front of the field there. A couple just shy of the entry times and one just inside. But pleased with their early morning swim, I think, those 3.
Yeah, nice swimming. Good first heat of the 800 for us there.
And the 3 15-year-olds getting in ahead of the older swimmers as well.
And, there you have it for the second heat.
CJRF dominating this one, Canadian junior team.
Yep. 4 of them in that one. Ella Smith from Stockton in 1, and we have 3 Canadian juniors. Ailey Wise, Paige Steppanoff and Naomi Minot in lanes 2, 3 and 4. Emily Forward, Swansea University in lane 5. Talia Staines from Derwentside and Gateside in 6. Another Canadian junior swimmer, Tara Vroom in 7, and Evelyn Hallisey in Newcastle in lane 8. All of these swimmers just over the 9 minutes as well. Naomi Minot, now she did have a great swim in the 400 last night, did she not? I think, from memory.
Yes, I think she was in the junior final, and Paige Steppanoff was in the B final.
That's right.
So it should be a good contest between these two.
Yep.
And as you said, Tony, 9:01 for Naomi Minot. It's the entry time, so we're maybe building up that previous heat a little bit too much to challenge the 9 minutes, but these swimmers got a realistic chance of dipping under this 9-minute mark.
And Paige and Naomi clearly swimming well at this meet already, so we'll just wait to see how the race evolves for them. Going well in lane 1, Ella Smith, the Stockton swimmer. So that is faster than the previous heat, 1:04.18, so already a second up. Ella Smith, 16-year-old from Stockton. She's a regular up here. A lot of the northeast swimmers come to these meets in Edinburgh pretty regularly. You've got Scottish short courses always here in December. Got this Edinburgh International meet as well, and it's great to see so many northeast clubs coming to those meets. And Ella is a frequent visitor. She was finalist at the Scottish short course in December, 6th in that final. And she's, though, just been caught by Naomi, and Naomi's off to a rapid start here. trying to get away from, already got away from Paige, her teammate we mentioned earlier, who was in that B final of the 400 last night and going okay out there in lane 7 is another of these Canadian youngsters, Tara Vroom. It is Naomi, 2:11.79. And that's 3 seconds up on where her teammate Abigail McLeod was in that previous heat. So we're talking about that 9-minute mark, and I think it could be a serious opportunity for Naomi to do that. Just have to keep an eye on it as we go through.
Yeah, it's a good start here in the early stages. So it's getting a little bit spread out. It's a little bit untidy across the pool. It's not a spearhead or anything. Everyone's still in with a chance here. Ella Smith going well still in lane number 1. Just look at the splits. It's all very similar, isn't it? They're all in the 34 range.
Yep,
maybe just one swimmer dipping into the 35, but not much in it at all. So no one really making a move yet as they come down to the 300 mark. They're not even close to halfway yet. So we'll just keep an eye on this time. There's the swimmer in the middle, Naomi Minot, 33.87. She's beginning. She just forced a little bit of an advantage there. You see some of the swimmers dipping into the 35-second range. Talia Vroom coming through strongly in 7, and 2 Canadians moving into first and second possibly, but Ella Smith is holding on well here, and she's surrounded by Canadians in terms of position, but still in the middle. Still Naomi Minot going really well. We'll check the splits here. They'll come down to halfway, Tony, and that'll give us a good opportunity to see if she's got a chance of dipping under that 9-minute mark. But Paige Stepanoff now starting to come through into third now, and she was around about 0.3 faster than the leader. So Stepanoff, as we saw her yesterday, an impressive swim.
Yeah.
Wonder if she's going to make a move in the second half here.
Well, you can see already she's just even on that last 50, coming through very strongly, and all of a sudden you can see Paige has got Naomi in her sights. Look at that. Yeah, definitely faster on that last 50. 4:28.5. So if she can keep that pace up, it's going to be under that 9 minutes. And she's about 6 seconds up on the previous heat, so this is looking good for getting under 9 minutes, but you kind of got to think Paige has got Naomi in her sights and is slowly reeling her in. Very differently paced race from the 2 Canadians, and just wonder whether Paige has decided to just ramp the pace up into the second 400. And still swimming faster than her compatriot. And I think if I'm Naomi, I'm going to be a wee bit worried.
Well, still got a couple of second advantage there, but Paige Stepanoff reducing that advantage in every 50 by around about 0.3, 0.4 of a second. So if it continues this way, we will see her catch up very shortly. There, 0.2 of a second, the gap. They're still 2.2 seconds, so, well, it's going to be an interesting one. It's looking good for a close finish here.
Yep. She's got the momentum, though, Paige, hasn't she?
Yeah. Third place coming through as well, Emily Forward in lane number 5. Also up there in 7, Talia Vroom still going well. Ella Smith still holding on, and maybe just dropped to 4th or 5th now. Just go for a look at the gap here. Naomi Minot, half a second that time, and the gap's now down to 1.75 seconds, Tony, and it's closing all the time.
Yeah, it's a bit like just reeling her in very, very steadily, half a second a length, and on that basis, with 4 lengths left to go, unless Naomi can find something extra in the tank, I think Paige is going to be overtaking her around about the last when the bell sounds, maybe the one after that. But I'm sure Naomi will respond, and you can see her kicking, just slightly kicking harder. Slightly faster stroke rate than Paige as well. And breathing over, looking at her. Paige breathing every 3. And
it's all closing up now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think by the bell we may have a new leader. And that's another 3/4 of a second catch up and almost caught her on the turn. So this has been a beautifully paced race by Paige, unless Naomi can find something, another gear on this last 100 inches. Fighting back a little now that she's got her side by side. This is almost stroke for stroke. We had that earlier in one of the male 400 medley races where they were almost stroke for stroke. But here's Paige and Naomi with the bell sounding, and it is almost nothing between them. 16 100ths of a second.
Well, Paige Stepanoff takes up the running. Naomi is not finished yet, Naomi Minor, but Paige Stepanoff certainly looks the stronger. Just wonder if Naomi Minor has got anything left to give there in this final 50. We have seen it before, but Paige Stepanoff looking very, very strong here as they come up to this final turn. One more turn to go. Let's hope they can just get close to that 9-minute mark here. Paige Stepanoff has now got a lead of over a second, and it's looking unlikely that Naomi Minor is going to be able to pull this one back. Stepanoff has really, really swum this very, very well. She was well down the field in the early stages, but she knew what she had to do, and she paced it absolutely perfectly. Let's hope she can dip under the 9 minutes. Let's see here, clock just ticking over, 8:55, 56. It's going to be very close. I think she's going to do it though. Yes, she does. 8:59.13. Excellent swim there from Paige Stepanoff under the 9-minute mark. She will be delighted with that one. Naomi Minor, 9:01.65, just 18 100 shy of her entry time. And Emily Forwood in for third, ahead of the third Canadian, Tara Vroom. But very well paced race there from Paige Stepanoff, wasn't it?
Negative split, I think. She was out in a 4:31, back in a 4:28. So super swimming there. As you say, she was good, maybe 10 metres down at the halfway mark, and just slowly paced her way back in, and went second 400 faster than the first, and takes that.
That's a good trick if you can do it, isn't it?
It is a good trick if you can do it.
You swim a bit distance stuff still, Tony?
Well, I certainly don't do negative split 800 freestyles, Paul. I can absolutely assure you of that. So knowing negative split, sorry?
You have to take it out very conservatively.
You'd have to be, I would be almost not moving if I was going to try and do a negative split, Paul, in the first 100. So no negative splits though in this next heat event. Male 50 backstroke. Splash and dash. We've got 7 heats this morning. In this first one we've got Ethan Stewart from Hamilton, Harry Cook, Aberdeen Dolphins in 2, Ewan Beattie from Aberdeen Performance in 3, Louis Lawler, City of Glasgow, Paralympian finalist in 4, Elliot Arnell, Borough Stockton in 5, Greer van der Meulen, Stirling Swimming in 6, Titus Pike from Stirling Uni in 7, and Conan Swinney, Derwent Side and Gateshead in lane 8.
Yeah, Louis Lawler, twice a Paralympian, Tokyo and Paris. It's been named on the GB funding programme as well for this year. Swims in the S14 classification, and backstroke very much a speciality for Louis Lawler. He's in that middle lane, entry time 27.70. Lane 6 going well is Greer van der Meulen, maybe leading them through. Also lane 2, Harry Cook going well in the early stages here. Might be Harry Cook possibly in lane 2. Greer van der Meulen, they're going to come in together, and it is Harry Cook just 0.1 ahead of Greer van der Meulen in the 27-second range. So be pleased to dip under that 28-second. Ewan Beattie, Elliot Arnell and Louis Lawler. That is the way they finished. Very tight for 4th, 5th and 6th there, but top 2 away and clear, Tony.
Yeah, promising 15-year-old Harry from Aberdeen Dolphins. Had a good 50 fly yesterday as well, following up with a 50 backstroke today. Second heat, just on your screen there. Neddy Irwin from one of the National Centre in Limerick, Benji Jeffrey, South Ayrshire in 2, Logan van der Meulen in 3, Stirling Swimming, Surrey Glasgow's Jack Doherty Simpson in 4, Joshua Clark, Grantham in 5, Martin Yankoff, Repton in 6, Jensen Norris and Perth City in 7, and Rowan Foos, Wickham and District in 8. And there's only 0.4 between these 8 swimmers on entry time, so expect a close one. Lane 7 maybe, Jensen Norris, Perth City swimmer. It's looking strong, but also in 6, Martin Yankoff from Repton, one of the very good group of swimmers at Repton School, and it's going to be one of those swimmers, Martin Yankoff, 27.05. So improved on his entry time there, and takes that heat. The 17-year-old Repton swimmer, Logan van der Meulen, followed by Jensen Norris. That's your 1, 2, 3.
Very strong at the end there.
Yep.
Second half of that race. Here's the lineup for heat number 3. Oisin Tibbett, Daniel Genkas, Harry Sharp, Charlie Cassidy, Jamie Gray, Maxim Shamrila, Callum Peebles and Thomas Courbois. Swim Ireland represented here by 2 swimmers, lane 1 and the fastest entry time in lane number 4. Charlie Cassidy, that entry time 26.66. And if anyone's going to get a chance of making one of the finals tonight, it's going to be quite a tough ask. They're going to have to get in the 25 range, I think. Very close there in the centre though. Might be Charlie Cassidy just with the edge in lane 4. Jamie Gray in 5. Might be Jamie Gray possibly. It was 27.09. It was Shamrila in 2nd and Charlie Cassidy in 3rd, but they all came in together there.
Yeah, not a lot between the top 4.
There we go. Jamie Gray takes it. Tavistock 27.09. So not quite as fast as the previous heat.
Right. Sharp there, one of the juniors in that one, so he'll probably be looking to get into that junior final. Rhys Blackett, Newcastle in 1, Jordan McPhail from Edinburgh Union 2, teammate Andrew Brodie in 3, Luke Greenbank, Loughborough in 4, Toby Nakamura-Drew from Plymouth Leander in 5, Robert Burgess, Edinburgh Union 6, Angel Exposito from Grenoble in 7, and Logan Jackson, University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 8. So Luke Greenbank, 50 is probably not his favourite distance, is he? He's more of a 200 swimmer.
Olympic medalist in the 200.
But going out hard on this one, going well as well in 7, Angel Exposito from Grenoble. And it's going to be Angel who takes this one, I think. 5th at the French Junior final in their championships, but it wasn't. It was Luke Greenbank taking it by a 10th, using all his experience there. 26.42. Good swim, but I don't think that's going to get him in the B final. We'll see. Angel just getting in 2nd.
Well, here is first of the seeded heats, cyclically seeded heats. So what some of the fastest swimmers in the centre of this one. Finn Brookhoven from Wickham, John Short from Swim Island, he's swimming well. Maddox Roberts from Loughborough, Jack Skerry from Bath Performance, Harry Robinson from the Isle of Man goes in 5, Clement Secchi and Paul Alves Torres from Marseille, they go in 6 and 7, and Zeno Bertali from Chelsea and Westminster in lane number 8. Well, it's 3 cyclically seeded heats, so no hanging about here if they're going to try and make the top 8. Very good start from Clement Secchi in lane number 6. Jack Skerry going well in lane number 4 as well, coming through strongly. But it might well be those 2 into the wall, and it is Clement Secchi, 25.55. Giving himself a chance there of making that A final, 25.67. I think they might be okay, Tony, you would think, with 2 heats to go.
I think so.
26.01 in 3rd position there, might just be in danger.
Yeah. Jules Andre in lane 1. Another of these Marseille swimmers. Omar Wiener from Israel in 2. Another Israeli, Tomer Schuster in 3. Cam Brooker, Bath Performance Centre in 4. Teammate Matthew Ward in 5. Jamie Ferguson, Aberdeen Performance in 6. Noah Retzler, Noah Nuffber in 7. And Niels Jiksum, Dutch team in lane 8. So Cam Brooker in lane 2. Lane 4, sorry. And also a really good start, lane 5. His teammate Matthew Ward. And Matthew is really going out hard on this one. He's got reasonably clear already of Cam Booker. In lane 3, we've got Maddox Roberts from we've got Thomas Schuster from Israel. Matthew Ward, though, 25.43. That's a good swim for him.
3 in the 25 range there.
Yeah.
Could that be the cut-off point, do you think?
25.92, Cam Brooker. So that's 5 of them. So we've got one more heat. So 3 of these guys, 4 of them get under 25 or 25 point. And Cam is out the final, which would be not what you'd have expected.
They're all capable of going under 26 second. This last 8, William Ellis, Borough Stockton, Jacob Mills Repton, Scott Gibson, Scottish record holder from Edinburgh Uni. Oliver Morgan was the meet record holder here in Edinburgh. He goes in lane 4. Zach Speakman in 5. Miron Amir Sharuti in 6 from Israel. Zachariah Dale from Repton in 7. And Philippidis Yakovides. But what can Oliver Morgan do in lane number 4? He's been on great form. Olympic finalist last year in his first Olympic Games. And winning the 100 backstroke yesterday. Let's have a look at this one. Oliver Morgan stretching away, looking in great form here, the swimmer in lane number 4, and it is 25.24. I think that's the fastest of all the heats, and he was the only one in the 25 second range. Scott Gibson in second, 26.02.
I think Scott might just have got 8th.
Has he got an 8?
And he does.
He does, yeah.
Just.
Good spot, Tony.
But that was pretty tight for him. But Ollie Morgan looked very good there. He had a meet record in the 100 back yesterday. 26.05, missing out by 3/100ths of a second there, Jules Andre. But he gets a second chance in the B final. All the way through to Maddox Roberts. And Angel just missed out. He had a good swim earlier on in the heats. But he misses out on our final. Ollie will be a reserve. Now we're running through. Some of these guys will be looking to get into that junior final. We'll wait to see later on in the day when that gets confirmed. But that was a good 50 backstroke there. Strong swimming from Ollie Morgan. He's on good form already. He'll be swimming through this meet because he'll be aiming for the trials, British Championships in April at the Olympic pool in London. And this is pretty promising if he's doing these kind of swims at this meet.
Yeah, very good indeed from Oliver Morgan. He is a meet record holder from, I think it must have been last year, Oliver Morgan, so. 24.95. So, yeah, might have a chance of having a crack at that meet record.
Yep. So now moving on to 50 back for females. Another 7 heats. First heat there, Isla Wetton, East Lothian in 1. Erin Gent from Repton in 2. Jessica Kirkwood, Aberdeen Performance in 3. Eloise Cole, Repton in 4. Maria Machenko, University of Aberdeen Performance in 5. Nubia Adjei, Sutton Sheem in 6, and Abigail McNerney from Inverclyde in lane 7. And not a lot. Oh, we're missing swimmers in lanes 6 and 8, so we don't have Nubia. She's not here today, and that leaves Abigail sort of stranded out there in 7, but she's certainly going for it. Good start in lane 4. Eloise Cole, Repton swimmer. Strong contingent from Repton here, and she's looking very strong. The 17-year-olds with Abigail out there in 7, but I think it's going to be Eloise, 30.28, so that's a nice improvement on her entry. I'm pleased with that, I would think. And Abigail just behind her with Erin Gent, another Repton swimmer, taking 3rd.
She looked really strong there. A real kind of purposeful backstroke there, wasn't it? Real.
Absolutely, right to the wall.
Excellent stuff there from the Repta swimmer. They were well represented in the finals last night. They had swimmers in almost every race early on last night. So
yeah, it's definitely a good programme that's been developed there.
There's the next heat. Lola Mycontelite from Grenoble in 1. Catherine Williams Wickham in 2. Erin Geely from FFBN Belgium. Charlotte Williams Surrey in 4. Lucy Stoves Dundee City Aquatic goes in 5. We have Ingrid Elise Bergstrom from Randaberg in 6. Grace McDonald in 7 from Grantham. And Ailey Armstrong at the top there from Edinburgh University. It's the Randaberg swimmer. And Ingrid Elise Bergstrom maybe showing in the early stages here. Contelite going well in lane number 1, but I think it is going to be Bergstrom who's going to be into the wall first. It is, and it is 6 and 1. That's the way they finish, but a clear win there for Ingrid Elise Bergstrom. And she will take that in 30.26. It's very close in terms of entry there. I didn't mention the entry times, they were all on 30.20, apart from the outside lanes.
Yeah.
But the Norwegian was able to step up to take that one and get very close to that entry time, 6/100 shy.
A couple of hundreds faster than the heat before, and into heat 3. Mably Collier, Repton again in 1. Anna Green, Edinburgh Union 2. Mika Gronier from the Netherlands in 3. Pauline Zeller from FFBN in 4. Lydia Cordell, Repton in 5. Izzy McGrath from Munster in 6. Laura Ann Marshman from Stirling Union 7. Gabriella Freeman Morpeth in lane 8 for 29s. First set swimmers under the 29 entry times here. And Pauline Zeller from FFBN, but going well, maybe out there in 6 and 7. Izzy McGrath from Munster, Laura Ann Marshman. But really not a lot between these 8 swimmers as they come past the 30-metre mark. Oh, this is a tough one to call. Hard to tell from that angle as well. Who's going to get it? Maybe lane 4. Pauline Zeller from FFBN, 30.05. Not quite getting under that 30 mark. But that's the fastest again. Slowly getting faster and faster through these heats. Pauline Zeller.
Not much in that.
No, that was a really close one. Very hard to call that one. As we move on to heat 4.
There's the lineup for this one. Amelia Oliver from Brighton College, we think. Brighton COL.
I think so.
Faith Yuda, Edinburgh University in 2. Amber Rigg Dumfries in 3. Lola Malik from SC Thionville in 4. Cora Rooney from Limerick in 5. Sophie Weston, University of Bath in 6. Astrid Fascius from Brighton College in 7. And Amy Shields from Edinburgh University in lane number 8. So 2 swimmers from Brighton in this one, 1 and 7. And again, very, very close indeed. The entry time is only split by, I think, 0.2 of a second right across the board. Maybe lane 4 coming through.
Lane 8 going well as well. Amy Shields, Edinburgh Uni swimmer. Lane 4 though.
Yeah, into the finish. Lola takes it, 30.07. Again, just skirting round the 30-second mark. Not quite able to dip under it. It was actually a clear win at the end. Half a second. Didn't look like that, did it?
It definitely didn't at all. Very close between the rest of them, 30.53 through. So I predict we will get somebody under 30 seconds in this heat.
Yeah.
Not one of the harder predictions.
So they're into the seeded heats now.
Yeah, Charlie Joyce, University of Bath in 1, Holly McGill, Stirling Uni in 2, Fleur Verdonk, Semfed in 3, Annabelle Compton from Wickham in 4, Melissa Mainwaring, City of Glasgow in 5, Fenella Widdesey, Repton in 6, Anastasia Urbaniak, Thionville in 7, and Tom Mignes in lane 8 from Israel. So Annabelle Compton, Wickham and District, is the fastest into this one, 28.5, 17-year-old. And a good start from her. Off to a really fast start. Going well in 7 and 8 as well. We've got Anastasia Urbaniak, Thionville swimmer. And Tom Mianis, Israeli in 8. This is also pretty. This is not as far flood from heat as you'd expect. Lane 8 maybe. It was. 29.82. So I said it would get under 30, but it's not.
You
It's
were
only,
right.
only just, though.
10.982. Well, there's 4 under 30, but they're only just under, aren't
Yeah, that's surprising. So, I don't know, these last 2 heats know what they've got to do to get into this A and B final. If they can, any of them get their entry times, they'll be in the A and Bs. So, Mana Patel in 1, Maria Godden from Swim Ireland in 2, Sophie de Groot, Loughborough in 3, Meike de Waart from Netherlands in 4, Caitlin Ebbage, Stirling in 5, Yasmin Hammerlin, Edinburgh Uni in 6, Heidi Wren from City of Glasgow in 7, Marie Wood, University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 8. So there's a good chance for all of these swimmers if they can pick up the pace and get anywhere close to their entry times. They've got a very good chance of competing later on. Good start in 4. Meike de Waart from the Netherlands. She's 9th in the World Championships and finalist at the World Short Course Championships. Meike, and she's showing good form here. More like an arrow in this one, and she's going to take this one pretty comfortably by the looks of things. 28.36. That's more like it. Sophie de Groot 29.47 was second, and in third Yasmin Hammerlane. So I think at least those top 4 probably
top
looking
5
more comfortable.
Certainly get another swim.
Yep.
Quite easily, I would think.
Yep.
Maybe the top 4 into that final, you would think, as well, with 1 heat to go. The top 5 times all coming from that previous heat there. So Emma Scobie, Rose van Otterdyk, Niamh Ward, Lauren Cox from Loughborough. She was great yesterday in the 100. Barbara Janakovic from Scoop, the Czech swimmer. Like Katie Shanahan, going over this sprint distance. Maybe she isn't actually, because I'm not sure there's a swimmer in 6. But Maureen Domingon and Libby Freeman, they complete the lineup. Yeah, no Shanahan in lane number 6, but let's see what the likes of Lauren Cox can do, and Barbara Janakova. Janakova had a great start there, great underwater work, but Lauren Cox, very good in the 100, and I think this 50 is probably the one that she made her name in. Lauren Cox in lane number 4. Let's see if she can challenge that 28.36 we saw in the previous heat. Well, she certainly can. Look at that, 28.00 for Lauren Cox. She is on great form here, Lauren Cox. Rose van Otterdyk in 2nd, and Barbara Jankova in 3rd place, all in the 28-second mark, so they'll be in the final again.
I think maybe all 5 of them. Yep. There's your finalist, Lauren Cox through to Manon Domillon. She was 5th in that last heat, so over half of them have come from that last heat. Caitlin Ebbage just missing out by a couple of hundredths of a second, and 30.05 gets you in the B final. I'm not sure we would have thought that would be the case coming into this one. And there's your reserves, Lola and Melissa. And there'll be a few junior swimmers as well in amongst that, waiting to see if they get into a junior final. So that was a great swim by Lauren.
Some of these entry times for this afternoon probably going to be around about the 30-second mark. So I know, a second in a 50 is quite a long way, but the young swimmers might do it. Might
some
have
of
a
that
chance.
Does depend. A lot of those, I suspect, are short course conversions into the backstroke for long course, and backstroke that makes a big difference. The turn on backstroke gives you a lot of push off the wall underwater, so could well be some of that might just depend on whether your entry time is a long course or a short course time, and replicating long course times from a short course conversion on backstroke in particular can be pretty tricky. So let's see what happens this afternoon. But knocking at the door of B finals potentially. We'll wait and see. Yeah, because 30.4 is the so there'll be some 30 points, so let's wait and see. Moving on now to the male and open 100 breaststroke. 5 heats in this first heat. Just up on the screen there was Alexander Turnbull from Isle of Man in 1, Callum Aitchison, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Royas Kringelis from City of Glasgow in 3, Nathaniel Shanubi, Stirling Uni in 4, Jack Mitchell from University of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Benjamin McAvoy, Stirling University in 6, Nicholas Land, Newcastle in 7, and Robson Miles from the City of Glasgow is in lane 8. So 105.6 to 106.6, so probably not going to have quite as close races on this 100 breaststroke as we've had in those 50s. Good start though in 1. Alexander Turnbull from Isle of Man. Looking good on that first 50. He's half a second up. Good start from him.
Yeah, good start there. The outside lane. I wonder if he's going to just be able to hold that now in this second 50. They're all coming back in the centre. There's probably about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swimmers in contention, and maybe 2 swimmers at the front of the field now battling it out. Is it going to be the man nearest to us? I don't think it is. He's just going to get caught at the end. Rogers Cringellis getting in ahead of Turnbull, who led, probably for about 90 metres or so. But it was Cringellis who gets in, and 107.56. Turnbull, the only other swimmer under the 108 mark.
Attacked that one, didn't he, Alexander? Just getting edged out by 0.3 of a second by Royas. But, good swim. Moving on to heat 2 now. Just waiting for that one to be confirmed. Short delay in the pool here.
Swim's coming out this time. I don't know why. Normally over the top starts.
Yeah.
A little bit of discussion with the officials. There might be a...
Yeah, oh dear. We seem to have a technical hitch. The swimmers have been asked, you can't see it on your screen, but the swimmers have just been asked to stand down for a minute, just whilst something gets resolved. Yeah,
the result's not been confirmed, I don't think.
Nope.
So it might be a disqualification, unfortunately. But maybe not. We will wait and see.
And the music's gone on in the venue, but often triggers somebody to blow a whistle, so that's good. Not that the music is bad quality, of course, but
I think we might be all right for that result, actually.
Yeah, no, I think so. Don't know what happened there. Evan Bailey in lane 1 here, Swim Ireland. Conor Mitchell, Warrender in 2. Matthew Garrity from City of Glasgow in 3. Luke Ibson, Loughborough in 4. Liam McConnor from Swim Ireland in 5. Donald Bissett, Stirling Uni in 6. Sam Williamson from University of Bath in 7. And Yannick Wieland, one of the Dutch swimmers, out there in lane 8. Good start in lane 1 again. Something in the water in lane 1. Evan Bailey from Swim Ireland, 20-year-old, has gone out really well. Beside him as well, Conor Mitchell, local swimmer, national age group champion, won the junior final here last year. Conor, he's actually not as far up as I thought he was, but Evan Bailey's definitely going strong on that first 50, and it's lane 1 again, but as per the last heat, slowly but surely the swimmers in the centre lane have reeled him in, and it's Luke Ibson, and also going well Yannick Wieland out there in 8, and it's really close, Luke and Liam and Donald, with Yannick Wieland out there in 8, but I think it is going to be Yannick. Just takes that one, a 105.15, so that's just over his entry. That was a good swim from him. Second.
Well, lane 1 led them out, lane 8 brought them home.
Yeah.
Yannick Wieland takes it 105.15. Luke Ibson in second, 1/100 separating third and fourth. Now we're into the seeded heats. Charles Hallock from Guernsey, Noah De Schrijver from Swimfed, Liam Tonks from Repton, Owen Corby from Ireland, Wojciech Netre from Plate, Machi Reid from Swim Ireland, and Ruben Viano from Grenoble. Callum Melville in the outside lane from Stirling University. And some of the swimmers in this one had very good swims yesterday. Noah De Schrijver was very good in the 200. William Tonks as well had a very good, I think it was the B final, was it, William Tonks? Or it might have been the junior final.
Junior final, I think,
yep,
17-year-olds.
And he goes in lane number 3. See if he can follow up that good 200 swim. It's Viano who leads them through the halfway, the French swimmer.
Oh, look at that.
All in a row here. Owen Corby coming through maybe in lane number 4 as they came off that turn.
You wouldn't think that was a circle seeded heat, would you? There's virtually nothing between all 8 swimmers.
Owen Corby, the fastest entry time, 1:41, but look at this. Very tight indeed. Lane 3, William Tonks coming through as well. And it might be these two, but Oh, only just edging it. And they all come in together. Corby, Tonks, De Schrijver. Well, the big names came through in the end, but oh my goodness, was not much in that at all.
Uncharacteristically close, really, for a circle seeded heat. Second and maybe nearly 2 between them all, but that was pretty tight. But a good touch in there from Owen. William Tonks did well. And we're moving on to the penultimate of these heats. Christian Ryan, Bath University in 1, Rafe Dobson, Stirling Uni in 2, Alexander Casey, Loughborough in 3, Koen de Groot, Netherlands in 4, Rory Dixon from Stirling Uni in 5, Harvey Freeman, Loughborough in 6, Dimitrios Tsaliakos, SK Roy in 7, and Eystein Breivik from Bergen in Norway in lane 8.
Yeah, centre lane's forging a little bit more of a lead than we saw in that previous heat, Tony.
Yep. So that's Koen de Groot, who's second fastest qualifier, second at the Dutch Championships. So I'm at the World Short Course for the Netherlands. Good Koen. Rory Dixon's come through really well in the last few years. Won the British Summer Champs last year, was a finalist in that 100 breaststroke at the British Championships, Olympic trials last year, and is the Scottish National Short Course champion in this event. And it is perhaps Rory who's just pulling ahead of Koen. Also going well in 7, Dimitrios Tsaliakos, who had a good 200 yesterday. And it's going to be Rory maybe just edging it, and he does. 102.77, that's the fastest we've seen today. About a second over his entry, but that's a strong second 50 from Rory. Dimitrios there taking in second, just edging out Koen de Groot. Those 3 look like they should be safe into that A final, but we'll wait to see in this last heat.
Yeah, there's the lineup for the last heat. Alexei Levinsky from Israel, Joshua Mitchell, Edinburgh University, Evil Cruz from Team Netherlands, Gregory Butler from Loughborough Performance Centre, Jonathan Saki from Israel, Alex Meyer from Stirling University, Luca Janssen from Netherlands, and Joshua Press in lane 8 from Stirling University. Well, 103, well, I think 103.81 is lying in 6th place at the minute, so anything in the 103, the low 103 range should be alright, I think, for these swimmers to make it.
They're all capable of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're 102.90 the slowest. Gregory Butler the fastest in 1 minute .26. He's being headed at the moment by Jonathan Itzaki, who's gone out very fast, 28.74. Butler ended up in the outside lane yesterday in the 200. I wonder if he wants to be in the centre of things tonight in that final. It's going along nicely. 3 swimmers all side by side. Evil Cruz, Gregory Butler and Jonathan Itzaki. Again, the 3 favourites coming to the front. Where are they going to finish? I think it might be the fastest of all the heats here. 101.65 for Butler. He will be in the centre lane tonight, just ahead of Itzaki, will be qualifying in second, and Evil Cruz safely in. Luca Janssen might be there as well.
Yeah.
And
Alexei
Levinsky
may well
might be there
just
too,
edged out,
actually.
I think.
I don't know. I think he might have made it there.
And he does. There we go. So another, again, 5 from that last heat into the final. Being in this last heats this morning has been an advantage. That's the last 2 events where the final heats thrown in. Most of the Owen Corby misses out on the A final. That was not what you might have expected. And Josh Mitchell will be first reserve for that B final. So that's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. You would have thought Owen Corby would be there challenging.
Yep.
But yeah, again, as we said, that last heat really stepping it up in the last 2 events. And they've secured their places in that A final into the top 8. And they're going down the rankings for the 5 heats. And of course, this afternoon, as we said, have a chance to make it into the B final, the A final, and the junior final. As we move on to the next event, the female 100 metres butterfly. There's the lineup: Charlotte Williams, from Surrey University in 1. Lucy O'Brien from National Centre in Limerick in 2. Lacey Roberts from Plymouth Leander in 3. Eloise Cole from Repton in 4. Emma Alson from Tabby Sim from Sweden in 5. Gabrielle Freeman from Morpeth in lane number 6. Faith Yuda from Edinburgh University in 7. And Emily Maxwell, Dermottside and Gateshead in lane number 8. Going well in lane number 8. Emily Maxwell on the outside might have a slight advantage. Or Emma Alson from Tabby Sim in the middle. Also Charlotte Williams near side as well. And yeah, it was Emily Maxwell just with that lead. Lucy O'Brien, in fact, in second, but not much in it at all between the top 4. Only a tenth of a second as they hit that 50-metre mark.
Totally spread out across the field. But Emily has carried on that form from the first 50. She's looking good out there. The Dermottside and Gateshead swimmer. And I think she's going to take this one. She was in on a 103.5, 102.91. Nice.
Good swim from Lucy O'Brien there. Not the best of finishes. She didn't quite time the stroke, so a 103.04. Great time from Lucy O'Brien, but I think she's got more to give. I think she'll swim a little bit faster there if she can spot that finish.
Yeah,
Great
and
stuff.
She went at 102.3 at the McCullough meet, so she must have spotted her finish slightly better at the McCullough meet than she did here, but still a good swim from Lucy. Into the second heat, Becky Watson, Borough Stockton in 1, Chloe Harris from Edinburgh University in 2, Josephine Klein, Stirling University in 3, Harriet Rogers, Loughborough in 4, Coco Croxford, South Lanarkshire swimmer in 5, Catherine Renfrew from Perth City in 6. In 7 is Abigail McNerney from Inverclyde, and Poppy Maskell, Paralympic gold medalist, in lane 8.
Yeah, Poppy, the most successful Paralympian in the GB team in France last year. 3 gold medals. Spoke to her and her dad coming in this morning.
Is she on good form?
Yeah, she's in good form. She's ramping up for the season to come. They've got the Paralympic trials, Paralympic World Championships also in Singapore this year in September. But because it's a little bit later, it's a 2-stage process, so you can qualify in London, but you can also qualify in the summer meet as well. So
okay, seems fair.
Poppy just been very busy after the Paralympics, so
I bet.
Paralympians not long back in the water, a lot of them.
This is part of our training regime then.
So good swim there for the swimmer in the centre lane, and that is Harriet Rogers. Will take that one ahead of Chloe Harris, and Coco Croxford had a good swim yesterday, and she finishes in 3rd position. The result is confirmed. Rogers takes it in 102.27, with Chloe Harris in 2nd and Croxford in 3rd. That was tight, actually. Catherine Renfrew not far as well.
Yeah, and they're
behind.
all decent swims pretty much on their entry times across the board there, so it's good swimming. Into this 3rd heat, Evie Roseboom from the Netherlands in 1, Lucy Fox from Loughborough Performance Centre in 2, Emily Richards, Manchester Performance in 3, Ellen Walsh from Swim Ireland in 4, Ciara Slosson, Edinburgh Uni in 5, Pauline Zeller, FFBN in 6, Maisie Elliott, University of Bath in 7, and Leah Slosson in lane 8 from Manchester Performance Centre. The Slosson sisters in the same heat here, and Ellen Walsh, the fastest qualifier, Swim Ireland swimmer, second in this event last year at this Edinburgh International, finalist at the World Short Course Champs as well, Ellen. And it is Ellen who takes this one, 28.08. This is the fastest, first of the circle seeded heats. Also got Ciara Slosson's having a good season this year. She's really come through and won a 58 high at Bucks, getting 2nd behind Lucy Grieve. And still though Ellen Walsh, the Irish swimmer, who's got the nod on Ciara, but it's pretty close. Not a lot between them, 59s under a minute, so they'll be pleased with that. Good heat swims from both Ellen and Ciara. Emily Richards just edging in 3rd, just over the minute. So I think Ellen and Kira have safely got themselves into a final. Emily, you'd think as well, but going to wait and see how this next heat.
Yeah, you would think a B final, certainly with a 1 minute point, but you never know. The A final might be in the offing. Here's the lineup for Heat 4. Manon Domignon from Grenoble, Holly Hibbett from Bath Performance, Abby Wood had a good swim yesterday in the backstroke from Loughborough in 3. Kiana McInnes, excellent swim in the 200 next to Laura Stevens, who won that 200. He goes side by side in lane 4 and 5. Eva Ocaro from Repton, she goes in 6. Maddie Robertson from Stirling University in 7, and Celine Jyoti from Grenoble in lane number 8. But the two big names in the middle, Kiana McInnes and Laura Stevens, both arguably 200 butterfly specialists, but definitely no slouches over the 100. And Abby Wood, the individual medley specialist as well. We saw her in the backstroke swim a good swim yesterday, and showing her versatility as well, going in this butterfly and pressing Kiana McInnes in lane number 4. So Kiana McInnes and Abby Wood possibly in second position, getting ahead of Laura Stevens and Eva Ocaro, and it was Kiana McInnes, Wood and Ocaro, 3 swimmers under the 1 minute mark. Laura Stevens in 4th position, but Kiana McInnes should be safe enough there, Tony. 59.11, yep. Looked good.
It did, yeah, but Laura Stevens maybe final place maybe in doubt here if this final heat, and we've seen the final heats of the last few events really picking it up, so we'll have to see whether Laura makes that final. Seren Talentire, Welsh Morpeth swimmer in 1, Alana Burns-Atkins from Swim Ireland in 2, Emmy Hilsfist from Tabby Sim in Sweden in 3, Ruth van Otterdijk, Zwemfed in 4, Lucy Grieve, Stirling Uni in 5, Meddy Harris from Loughborough in 6, Susie McNair, Stirling University in 7, Ellie McCartney, Swim Ireland in 8. So fastest in is Ruth van Otterdijk. Just missed out on a final at the Olympics, 10th, painfully close. European champion though, Ruth, 57.25 entry. Got to be a firm favourite on this one. She's a good second up on entry times to Lucy Grieve, who is no slouch. Lucy, second at the British Championships, Olympic trials last year. And it is Ruth who's gone out 27.6. That's pretty similar to what Kiana McInnes did in that last heat. And Ruth is taking Lucy Grieve with her. Also in this side, Emma Hochfist, the 17-year-old from Tabby Sim, European junior finalist. Just edged out of a medal in that one was Emmy. Still got a year, 2 years to go on that. So very promising youngster Emmy, but no doubt about it, it's going to be Ruth who takes this one. 58.4. 59.2 second, Emmy Hochfist, 60.4. She's going to be, I don't think she's going to make that final, Emmy. She's going to be the fastest into the B, but we'll just double check that when we get this next screen up. But no doubt about it, Ruth there, clearly fastest this morning. And it is Laura who just edges in, edging out Emmy into that A final. So there you go.
It's a good final in prospect for
very,
that one,
very good. It's not a bad B final either. You look at that lineup. And Holly Hibbett just sneaking in to the B. Susan McNair, just missing out by a couple of hundredths of a second. And Harriet, but Susie will be in the junior final, I'm sure. So that was good. That will be a good final. I think they all up their game a wee bit in that final, in under the minute, but they're all capable of doing something faster.
We saw a great final in the 200 butterfly, and another good one in prospect for the 100 butterfly for the female swimmers. It's all very, very close contest, wasn't it? I think it's going to be the same tonight, although Ross van Otterdijk is looking very good indeed.
She swam
Kiana
brilliantly last
McInnes,
night.
maybe a little bit more to give.
Yep, I think they all have, but Ruth, I think, probably a firm favourite, but we'll see. And now moving on to the male and open 200 fly. We've got 4 heats this morning. First heat we've got Fraser Tetlow, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Jacob Goodman, Loughborough in 3, Jacob Peters from Bath performance in 4. Angelo Contini from Loughborough in 5. Callum Sinclair, West Lothian in 6. And James Bodie from Gary in lane 7. So really strong start from Jacobs. Yeah, he's definitely capable of faster than 2:07. Must be a podium swimmer. Here's Jacob. And off to a very, very fast start here. On his outside, Angelo Contini. And I suspect the rest of this field are slightly surprised by this and wondering what on earth they're doing. Because they'll be on the pace that they thought they were set to. And Jacobs is significantly faster than his 2:07 entry. I think there must have been a mistake. He was going for a...
Well, yeah, better known as a sprinter, I think.
Yeah,
Jacob
so he
Peters.
was going for
to see him in the
swim.
200.
Yeah, so there we go. So he was going for a fast. Interesting. That's disqualified out, but clearly was wanting to see what he could do on his 100. 54 is not bad. And now that he's completely flummoxed the rest of the field, hopefully he'll have told them. It does happen sometimes. This swimmer's doing something in the heat that's not the race itself, so hopefully he'll have let the others know, but then maybe just getting on and doing their own thing. But Angelo, 1:31.12, that's pretty fast there. That's a 32. He's going to be smashing his entry if he can keep this up. I do wonder whether he got slightly distracted by Jacob Peters on his inside, and he's tying up a little bit here. But entry time is a 2:07, and if he can get anywhere near that 33-34 in his final 50, he's going to significantly improve on that. And I think he's going to manage it. 2:05.97, so he does get in under his entry time there. Jacob Goodman, 2:08, so just over his entry. Fraser Tetlow getting in third in a 2:10.12. So that full of surprises, that race.
Yeah. Well, it was a good time in the end there for Angelo Gianni Contini. 2:05.97. We'll be a slight delay. We'll have that disqualification, I think, for Jacob Peters. There we are. As we thought, Jacob Goodman in second, Fraser Tetlow in third, and 2:05 might be a chance for another swimmer at 2:05.
I think he could do. That relies on everyone in the next few heats managing to outside lanes, getting close to their entries, which on Tour of Fly can sometimes not happen. So we'll see. Kieran Lennox in lane 1, University of Aberdeen Performance in this heat 2. Zach McLeod, Winskill Dolphins in 2. Ruben Robotham Keating, podium potential swimmer from Loughborough in 3. Edward Mildred, Manchester Performance in 4. Duncan Scott from University of Stirling in 5. Tiago Fonseca Gomez, Netherlands in 6. Finalist last night in the 100 fly. Ricardo Lucarelli from Stirling University in 7. And Ronan Kilcoyne, the National Centre for Limerick. Lane 8. Out strong, Ed Mildred. Another podium potential swimmer. Won the Swing England short course meet.
I'd love to see Duncan Scott swim the 200 fly. Although just looking back at records, Commonwealth Games, he swam in 2022, finished in the final in 5th position. Duncan, so I know he's very versatile, and he's looking good in the early stages here. He's not going to do what's now called as a Jacob Peters and stop. He's going to soldier on to the end here. Duncan Scott looking pretty good.
Yep.
As Edward Mildred, Manchester Performance swimmer, who was the pre-race favourite for this one, had the fastest entry time in 1:56.80. But Duncan Scott still looking very good. As we go over, Mildred taking up the running, 1:27.69. Scott now 1:28.40. Robotham Keating in third, and Zach McLeod, the young Canadian, in 4th place. But Duncan Scott's been really quite quick already at this championships, and he had quite a long break after the Olympic Games, so back in and looking in great form, Duncan.
Yeah, good shot there. Those 3 swimmers made it look closer than it is. Duncan coming back a bit on Ed. And is he going to push him out? I think he might, you know. And he does. Look at that. 0-3. Excellent final 50 from him. Only a couple of seconds off his entry time. Ed Mildred, 2:01.27. Ruben Rowbottom Keating. Good swim for him. Heat swim, 2:02 in there. And Thiago coming in on a 2:04. So that 2:05 from Gianni Angelo Contini in that first heat is looking still pretty good, I would say.
What was that? 2:05.
2:05.97. So
he's fifth there.
Yeah,
2 heats to go.
I think he's got a good chance for a B final.
There's a lineup for this one. Scott Fleming from Stirling University, close to us. Thomas Sanson from Loughborough in 2. Tom Bailey, Scottish Commonwealth Games swimmer, University of Aberdeen performance. He goes in lane 3. James Guy, the experienced campaigner from Millfield, he goes in lane number 4, off to a great start. He swam a great 200 yesterday. Samuel Costa from JT Sport, J&T Sport, he goes in lane number 5. Andrew Bertolli back in the water again. He goes in lane number 6 for Stirling Uni. Tom Robertson from Edinburgh Uni in 7. And Benjamin Beale from Derwentside and Gateshead, 15-year-old, goes over there in lane number 8. But James Guy, a couple of great 200 freestyles. I've seen him, obviously. He's been the go-to man in the 100 metres butterfly in the medley relay for the GB team for many years. And the 200 fly is going along very nicely indeed. He is the meet record holder actually in this 200 fly, 156.62.
Yep.
So
Commonwealth Games bronze medalist as well in that same race that Duncan got 5th. James managed to snatch a medal. Tom Bailey trying to go with him. Tom Bailey actually Scottish junior record holder from 10 years ago now, crikey. And he had injured earlier in the season, so coming back, Tom. And just ahead of Thomas Sansom, Samuel Kostas in 5. There's a Slovakian swimmer, was second at European Juniors. And he's trying to pull it back on this final 50, but no doubt about it, James Guy is going to take this one. Second now coming through is Thomas Sansom from Loughborough. But here comes James, looking pretty strong, and he's going to be in around the 2 minutes, 2:01.45.
Wow.
And it is Thomas Sansom second, and Samuel Kostas, the youngster from Slovakia, did just push forward past Tom Bailey. So 2:05's 2:13, I think, is in the final, A final, 2:05, so just going to have to wait and see.
Well, 2 of Britain's most decorated Olympic swimmers making their way into that 200 butterfly final. James Guy and Duncan Scott. One more heat to come. British champion in this one in the centre lane. Full lineup: Peter Allen from Stirling University in 1, Charles Simpson from Repton in 2, Jack Casson from Swim Ireland in 3, Josh Gammon from Bath Performance, he goes in lane 4, Andrei Gemov from PK Slavia goes in lane 5, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Edinburgh University in 6, Brogan McAvaney from Limerick in 7, and Rico Brinchman from Loughborough in lane number 8. And well, the man to beat, you would think, would be Josh Gammon. Had a great year or so, winning that British title, also winning Bucks recently, and the short course in Bucks as well. So 200 butterfly, we've seen him go over the shorter distances as well on butterfly, but it seems that the 200 butterfly very much the focus for Josh Gammon.
Indeed. Also a world life-saving champion.
World life-saving champion?
Yeah.
It's good.
Versatile, talented young man, and he's really come through in these last couple of years at Bath University swimmer.
I think he must be from Devon, actually.
I think he is.
Because one of my former Paralympic teammates, he lives in Devon now, and he was at the trials last year, and he was getting very excited about Josh Gammon winning the 200 freestyle.
No,
he's in North Devon.
Yeah, no, I think he is. Hence the life-saving.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It does,
all fits into place.
And it does surfs as well, I think, from memory, which is all fits in. But he's looking very strong here. Podium potential swimmer, Josh Gammon. But 1:30, so all these 200 flyers are off the pace in these heats this morning. It's a tough event, 200 fly, and really not pushing any harder than they need to. Jack Casson from Ireland has now taken over the lead. Represented Ireland at the European Championships, and this he's the Irish champion, Jack, and he's looking strong, and he's going to come through and take this one. Got there 2:02 for him. Andrei Gamov second, Josh Gammon coming in third. So I think those three will be in the A final, but 2:05 is going to be somebody who you'd expect to be in is not going to make it, I don't think. It's, those three at the top should do that. Let's see as we move on to here. Oof, Josh Gammon just in lane 8. So that would have been a real shock had he not made that one, but he's done a Duncan Scott and got himself an outside lane in a final. Thiago just missing out, but Angelo Contini from that first heat does get himself another swim in the B final. He'll be pleased with that. Scott Fleming and Tom Robertson are your first and second reserves for that. So outside steamer in that final of the 200 fly with Josh Gammon, and we'll see how that goes later on this evening. 5:30. The finals are on this evening, so if you'll come back for that. We're now moving on to the female 400 IM.
Not sure if that is the correct graphics, but we will get the female 400 IM for you as soon as possible. 4 heats in it, and we have scoreboard not playing ball here, but we're back in the scoreboard in the venue. We've got a graphic sorted out, and we are back with Eva Bailey in lane number 1 from Loughborough, Catherine Body from University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Tegan Black from East Lothian in lane 3, Niamh Connery from National Centre Limerick in 4, Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow in 5, Grace Turner from Grantham in 6, and Abigail McLeod back in the water again. She's back in for the Canadian junior team after swimming that 800. Now she's got a 400 IM. Yes, that's a schedule for you.
That is. If you're going to come all the way from Canada to swim at meet, you might as well make the most of it, I suppose. But that's a tough gig for a morning session. Really tough gig. 800 free into 400 IM. Let's see how she gets on.
And she's over there in lane number 7. And it's almost in a diagonal line across the pool as we're looking at here. Eva Bailey with that, I should say, with that early start. Chased down by Catherine Body next to her in lane number 2. And maybe in the centre lane going well is Alice Cumming in lane number 5, City of Glasgow. So the Scots and the English at the minute at the front of the field. Eva Bailey 108.30 entry times in this one, in the kind of low 5-minute mark. 5:08 for Niamh Connery, fastest entry time, down to Abigail McLeod. No, Eva Bailey actually 5:10.80 is the slowest, but Eva Bailey certainly not the slowest in the pool at the minute. It's early days though, of course, and we say it all the time, Tony, but the breaststroke could be all important, especially in a 400 IM.
400 IM, things move around on a regular basis, don't they? Almost every stroke. It's long enough for the specialisms to come through. 200 IM, not quite so much. You can usually do a 50 of everything, although breaststroke's important, but in the 400 IM, I think breaststroke really comes into its own. And if you haven't got a strong breaststroke, I think you're in big trouble in a 400 IM. And as you can see on this backstroke, it's not levelling out, but it's definitely getting already closer, and we could easily see a complete shift in that diagonal between now and the end of the breaststroke. And we've almost got a perfect diagonal there. Just need Tegan, who's the national age group champion, just to push it forward a wee bit on this backstroke, and it would be a nice little picture for us on the screen. And she's doing her best, and she's come back a lot on that backstroke leg. Expect her to pull through on the breaststroke as well. And still Eve Bailey, but it's a lot closer now than it was after the fly. And they're not all in a line, but they're much closer. And you can see here in lane 4, that's Niamh Connery, and Limerick swimmer.
Yeah, breaststroke there. Very strong for Niamh Connery. Look at that, just in the early stages. Well, we'll get the splits again for the 50s as they come up to this top end. So I expect Niamh Connery to be very, very swift on that 50 breaststroke. Let's have a look and see what kind of split that she has got here. 40.41 for Niamh Connery.
There you go.
43.45. Look at how much distance, or how much time she's taken off the rest of the field.
Potentially 10 seconds if she repeats that off Eve Bailey in the breaststroke alone. She represented Ireland at the European Juniors last year, and she's showing great form here, Niamh. Only 17, so, and it's all of a sudden it's a one swimmer race. She's been trying to be kept up with by Alice Cumming, who's won the Scottish Summer Meet in Scottish Schools this year. He was 4th in the junior final in this event at Edinburgh International last year. But what is Niamh Connery showing everyone a clean pair of heels. Look at the gap now. And there you go. Breaststroke has totally turned this around. And
it's your spearhead now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Middle outwards. So maybe used to.
Tegan Black's really come back into it as well. She's now in 3rd, but no doubt about Niamh Connery is going to take this one. 5:08.77. She did swim that at the Irish Championships, where she got 2nd place. I think Alice is going to catching her up slightly. She's got a long, big gap if she's going to try, and she is. Yeah, she is half a second quicker, but 4 seconds or 3.5 seconds is a long gap to pull back in the 150 metre freestyle. She's given a good shot though, Alice, but I think Niamh's going to take this one.
Abigail McLeod after that 800, maybe the fastest in the pool. That's was a good split for the first 50 on that freestyle, and she's coming back there right at the top. Might clinch 3rd place, but it was the breaststroke that did the damage, and Niamh Connery is in 5:08.71, and she's just bettered her entry time by 6/100ths of a second. Alice Cumming is in 2nd in 5:10.83, and good finish there from Abigail McLeod, getting in 5:13.49. Very strong on the freestyle for Abigail McLeod, and she pulled through into 3rd spot there. But great swim, great second half there for Niamh Connery.
Yep, just shows you solid breaststroke can get you a long way on the 400 IM. See what happens in this one. Grace McDonald, Grantham in 1, Marie Mashenko, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Ella Smith and Borough Stockton in 3, Niamh Savary, Newcastle in 4, Tara Vroom, Canadian junior team in 5, Jasmine Vartas, Repton College in 6, Amelia Alibar, Brighton College in 7, and another Repton swimmer, Clara Ginis, in lane 8. So pretty young youngsters in here. One 19-year-old, the rest are 16, 17 and 18, so still all in that junior category. So looking at least to get in a junior final. A lot of these swimmers in the field, another 5 or 6 juniors ahead of them, so get near the front in this one, and almost guaranteeing yourself a second swim this evening. Niamh Savary, Newcastle swimmer, in the lead. She was won the B final here last year, Niamh, and off to a strong start on this fly leg. Tara Vroom, Canadian junior team, not far behind her. Age group finalist, Canadian age group finalist Tara, just under the 5 minutes at entry time for her, 1:07.
Again, that tough double 800 freestyle 400 IM.
Yeah,
actually started pretty well, the Canadian.
So there's another couple of Canadians coming up who also did the 800, so They're clearly making them work for their trip.
Yes.
No sightseeing trip to Edinburgh, this one for the Canadian junior team, which is what you'd expect, really.
So, Niamh Savory there in lane number 4. With a Niamh win the first heat. I wonder if we're going to get a Niamh win the second heat. Looking good so far. And it's mostly going according to the seeded times in the early stages here. Just wonder if anyone's going to make a move like we saw in that previous heat in the breaststroke. But Niamh Savory and Tara Vroom have been challenged by the swimmer in the outside lane, Clara Guinness, over there in lane number 8. Another one of this squad from Repton, who have been performing very, very well over the last day or so. As I said, we saw a number of Repton swimmers in the finals last night. Seemed like every race, Tony, there was a Repton swimmer represented. And she's gone into the lead, 37.46 for the Repton swimmer in the outside lane. And as you can see, she took 2 seconds on that last 50 away from the lead up. Onto the breaststroke now. Just wonder where this one is going to go. Niamh Savory and Tara Vroom, and also Clara Guinness also in there. Coming back though is Amelia Oliver in lane number 7. Wonder if anyone else can make a move. Grace McDonald down at the bottom from Grantham, coming back into contention, but not sure if she's going to be able to hold up, get back on terms with the swimmers in the lead.
Making a good go of it though. Much more spread out field this one to compare to last year, isn't it? The breaststrokers are well spread out across the pool, and Grace is making a good comeback, but she's got a long way to go, hasn't she, in lane 1. And strong breaststroke leg here from Niamh. She's re-established that lead from Clara Guinness, the Repton swimmer, and she's getting Brighton College's Amelia Oliver is just about to overtake her as well. But Niamh's done well in this breaststroke leg, re-established that lead after a strong fly swim from her, and she's the fastest breaststroker in the pool by a margin, I think.
Another 42. She was 42 that previous 50, 42 again. She's extended that lead, the Canadian Tara Vroom in second now, and you would expect her to hold on to that second place if that form that we saw in the 800s anything
and
to go
closing
by.
In already. You can see actually she's just continued that 800 form from earlier on, and she is catching up Niamh pretty well. That's a long gap to bring back, but I think we're going to see at the end of this 50 she's a second and maybe more than a second or two faster than Niamh on the 53. Yeah, a couple of seconds quick, and she could catch her up, you know. She's only a second and she's less than 2 seconds behind, so this could be an interesting final 50. Tara Vroom, and she's really pushing hard. Niamh's seen the challenge and is trying to push ahead from her. What a last 100 from Tara Vroom here. She's already done an 800 freestyle, remember, this morning. Has she got the legs? She has, you know. What a beautifully paced swim there from Tara. Woof. 5:02.24. That was excellent racing from Tara and Niamh. Look at that, 4 seconds quicker over that 100 freestyle. I didn't think that was possible when they finished off the breaststroke. But super swimming from the Canadian youngster. 5:02.24. And that well, she'll be in the junior final for absolute definite. But will she manage to challenge and get into the A or B final? We are about to find out in the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I think a B final might be a realistic option. I mean, all these swimmers in the last 2 heats capable of going under the 5-minute mark, but you know, we've got to deliver it just now, deliver it at this time of the season, so expect some people to dip over the 5-minute mark. So this is the first of the seeded heats. We have Alice Forrest going in at lane number 1. Daniela Brink from Netherlands in 2. Anna Farrow from University of Bath in 3. Ellen Walsh is going in lane number 4 for Swim Ireland. Lydia Cordell in lane number 5 for Repton. Clementina Frankova from Ostrava in 6. Michelle Zeng, another one of the Canadian juniors, goes in lane number 7, and Lucy Christoph from Grenoble goes in lane number 8. So, yeah, tough session for a number of these swimmers here.
Yeah.
Ellen Walsh has gone straight from 100 fly into 400 IM.
Good warm-up, I suppose. Olympic finalist in this event, Ellen. 4:37.18. She sat that time at the winning the Seti Coley meet. And a world-class swimmer in this event, Ellen. And she's a world-class flyer, 103.83, so well up on that one. Also World Short Course finalist and third in this event last year, behind Freya Colbert, who is coming in the next heat. So this is some world-class swimming and some world-class swimmers that we've got here this weekend at the Edinburgh International Meet, and Ellen is one of those. A 24-year-old from Ireland, and she's already got 4 or 5 metres start on Lydia Cordell from Repton and Anna Farrow, the Bath University swimmer. Only 15 years old, Lydia. Won her British Summer Championships event last summer. Very promising youngster, and she's keeping up with Anna Farrow in 3, if not now ahead of her, but no doubt about the leader, Ellen Walsh, Irish swimmer representing the national team here.
Yeah, looking comfortable, isn't she?
She does look very, very good, very strong. Should be a good final later on.
2:18, we'll see the splits there. So she's opened up another second or so over Alice Forrest, who's in second position. There's a group of around about 4 or 5 swimmers in the chasing group, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to catch the swimmer in the centre, Ellen Walsh, the Irish superstar, and she's going to make sure of her place in that final in one of the centre lanes, I would imagine. 2 15-year-olds in this one are, as you said, Tony, Lydia Cordell and also Michelle Zeng from the Canadian junior team, another one of the Canadians with that tough schedule after that 800 freestyle. So she's going well. I mean, it's all pretty grouped up, I think, behind Ellen Walsh. In second place, it looks like Anna Farrow, just with that edge over the swimmer in lane 2, Daniela Brink from Team Netherlands. Also coming back in lane number 6, Clementina Frankova from Ostrava. And Michelle Zeng now trying to come back into contention with a Czech swimmer 1 lane down from her. But Ellen Walsh, they have closed up on her, I think. You'll see that probably from the splits, but it's not going to challenge. It's not going to prove a problem for the Irish swimmer, I don't think. 43.67. Yeah, Daniela Brink closed up about 3 seconds there. That's taken her into second place, but Ellen Walsh got this one under control.
I think so, yeah. Just pacing it in. Daniela has now got into second. She's the Dutch champion and only 19, but she's now got herself into second. So the rest of the field really playing to decide which final they're going to be in, because across the board, some juniors and some A and B finalists, I think, in this heat, but no doubt about Ellen Walsh clear in the lead and fastest in the pool again. Oh, Michelle Zeng, no. Oh, he's doing a bit like her compatriot in the last heat, Tara Vroom, coming back very strongly on the freestyle leg. We'll catch that when we get a wider angle on the camera, see whether Michelle's going to get that second or third place. But no doubt about the winner of this heat, Ellen Walsh. Yeah. Irish Olympic finalist comes in 4:52.7. That looked pretty steady, but still by far the fastest swim so far this morning. And Daniela just held on there, getting under that 5 minutes, with Michelle Zeng 5 minutes 56. So that 5:02s from the previous heats Still in a good shout for getting in a B final, I would say. With Ellen and Daniela almost definitely guaranteed an A final, I would say.
It's Canadian juniors, good freestylers, aren't they?
They are good freestylers.
The end of a 400 IM, powering through it.
Yeah.
Got another one in this final heat.
Do.
Hazel-Ann Carter from Wickham District in 1. Naomi Minot, the Canadian junior, goes in at lane number 2. Susie McNair, lane number 3 from Stirling University. Freya Colbert, World Championship gold medalist last year. She goes in lane number 4, just missed out in the medals in the Olympic Games as well. Freya Colbert, again, one of the world's very best here in Edinburgh. Beatrice Farley from Plymouth Leander goes in lane number 5. Mela Large from Grenoble in 6. Louise Bressler, University of Bath in 7. And Emma Price from Borough of Stockton, very strong butterflyer, goes out there in lane number 8. But again, Freya Colbert, well, great couple of years that Freya Colbert has had. 400 individual medley, certainly been one of the target events for Freya Colbert. She's had some good tussles with Katie Shanahan over the last couple of years over a couple of events, 200 backstroke, 200 IM, 400 IM. Freya just had the edge over Katie in this 400 IM discipline, and she'll be hoping to secure her place in the final tonight to see how she can go against Ellen Walsh. I'm sure that she swum against Ellen Walsh a number of times as well, both Olympic finalists.
And the last time they raced, I think, was at Seti Coley, and Ellen beat her on that occasion, so which is unusual. So let's see how it goes this afternoon, or this evening I should say. I think it's, unless Freya gets disqualified, I think it's almost definite that she'll be racing against Ellen later on this evening. And keep it with her, Susie McNair, young Scot, very promising talent is Susie. We presented GB at the European Juniors last year, and this event was 4th at the trials, where she did her entry time of 4:49, and taken all before her at Scottish and British age group championships. And really promising swimmer Susie, and she's just staying steady up against Freya Colbert, with Beatrice Farley, the Plymouth swimmer, just keeping up with Susie McNair, and the two of them are almost too close to call, 500ths of a second between the two. And Beatrice won her age group at the British Summer Champs last year as well, second at the English short course back in December in Sheffield. But I think safe to say Freya's swimming within herself in this one.
Yeah, looking very comfortable, and still with a substantial lead over the swimmers on either side of her. Beatrice Farley just holding on to second place, moving a little bit clear of Susie McNair. Just have a check of the splits. Freya Colbert just under the 40-second mark, and Beatrice Farley just under the 42 seconds. So you see how it's kind of extended now at the front of the field, everything getting a little bit spread out. In 4th place is the young Canadian Naomi Minot. She's falling back now, and yeah, things getting very elongated in the pool as they come down to the end of the breaststroke. And Freya Colbert looking really comfortable, Tony, but we're just stretching the lead, really powerful.
Yeah, I mean, she just looks fantastic there. We say she's swimming within herself, but she still looks very, very strong, doesn't she? And faster than anyone at the moment in the pool on the breaststroke leg. Just pacing this final 100. What was the time for Ellen in the previous heat? I forgot to write it down. 4:52. Yeah, that rings a bell.
4:52.70.
Yeah. So that'll be just a benchmark for Freya. I'm not sure she'll be too bothered whether she's close or not to that time, but she does look good, doesn't she? 33, so there's another 33, she'll be well under that time of Ellen. She's swum within herself, but she's still going to be in the 440s, which is which is not not bad.
For looking so comfortable.
Very comfortable,
It's
really.
absolutely fantastic. She's gone to just working the legs a little bit in this final 50 freestyle. Freya Colbert will be delighted with this swim, I'm sure. Just over the 440, 442 at 02. That's not bad at all.
That is excellent. So it's only 5 seconds off her meet record. And she didn't. We may have been doing her a disservice there, Paul. She may well have been trying, but she didn't look like it. Very comfortable. And she's dragged Beatrice and Susie along with her. And they're pretty close to their entry times. So all of them. And another under the 5 minutes there from another one of the Canadian juniors, Naomi Maynard. So I do wonder whether all 4 of them are going to sneak into that final. Naomi may just miss out, but what a swim from Freya, really. That was, I think we were doing a disservice. So there we go.
It's a great time. Great time indeed. 4:42.02. Beatrice Varley in second. Ellen Watts will be in third. Lydia Calder just missed out with that 5:02.01. And Hazel Ann Carter will make it into that B final. And Frankova and Niamh Connery from the early heats will be reserve, actually. That first heat, Niamh Connery, a reserve for the B final. Yeah. Just 17. That qualified for the junior?
She
17,
will be in the junior. Yeah, it's 18 and under for juniors, so she'll definitely be getting a second swim. It just depends which race. We often find with this weekend at Edinburgh, as the weekend goes on, people start withdrawing from evening sessions.
Well, we saw a few last night, didn't we? A few withdrawals in the kind of late finals last night.
Yeah.
A number of swimmers doing multiple events as well. We've seen already from the Canadians.
Yes. I don't think they'll be leaving early, though. So
no.
They're going to be swimming every race they can possibly do, and they are swimming really well. And a number of them there in that event you saw, even though they're juniors, they're in those A and B finals. That's the way it works. If you're a junior, whatever age you are, you go into the A and B, and then it's the remaining quickest juniors that get into that junior final.
Dropping the distance now, though. We're on the 50 freestyle, male and open. 8 heats, and this is the first heat. Leon Molam from Stirling University in lane number 3. Finlay Club from Edinburgh University in 4. Jensen Norris from Perth City in lane number 5. All entered on exactly the same time, 23.70. And I wonder where this one is going to go. It's almost like a swim off, this one. Closest to us is Leon Molam, but it is Jensen Norris with the red cap of Perth City. Will take it in that time of 23.72, so 2/100 shy of his entry time. But a good finish there from Jensen Norris to take that one. 23.72 to start us off with these 50 freestyles, Tony.
Nice swim. Second heat, Omar Wiener, Israel in 2, Ethan Lim from Chelsea and Westminster in 3, Noah Retzler, Loughborough in 4, Aurélien Descamps, Marseille in 5, Angel Exposito Grenoble in 6, and Charlie Cassidy Swim Ireland in 7. 0.08 seconds between these 6 swimmers in this heat, and lots of straight arm powering through the water here, and I think maybe lane 6 is going to get it. Angel Exposito, no it's not, Omar Wiener.
Oh, it's a dead heat I think for second.
Okay.
Well, first place is okay, dead heat for second.
23.8 for Aurélien and Descamps and Angel Exposito. So that's nice swim in there from theirs. Pretty close to entries.
Well, Laughlin Brophy from Swim Ireland in 1. Angelo Gianni Contini back in again, the Loughborough swimmer in 2. Bruno Kempster, Edinburgh Uni in 3. Daniel Ginkas, Loughborough in 4. Lorenzo Foltran from Grenoble in lane number 5. Harry Robinson from Isle of Man in 6. Dylan Regis from Swim Ireland in 7. And Evan Jones from Stirling University out there in lane number 8. Laughlin Brophy going well in lane number 1, but coming through in the centre and in the outside actually. Evan Jones might take it from the outside lane. 23.32, big improvement on the entry time there. He'll be pleased with that swim. 2 other swimmers under the 24-second mark. But Evan Jones, clear winner in that one, improving his entry time by 0.2.
Oh, nice swim. Heat 4, Brogan Hayden 1, Zachariah Dale Repton in 2, Joe Litchfield, Loughborough in 3, Aaron Ilkes, Stirling University in 4, Robert Derbyshire from University of Bath in 5, Harry Sharp, Warner in 6, Joe Waterson, Isle of Man in 7, and John Short from Ireland in 8. Good start in 3, Joe Litchfield. He got the advantage here, also going Aaron Ilkes and John Short. Very tight here. John Short maybe going to take this one. He does, 23.58. Down on that time from Evan Jones in the previous heat. Good swim there from John, mainly known as a backstroker, but good performance in that 50 free.
He's had a good couple of days, John Short. Next one, heat number 5, Adam Ritchie from Stirling University, Harry Robinson from Loughborough, Paul Alves Torres from Marseille, Oliver Watts from Loughborough next to his teammate Thomas Exall, Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow, Ashley Sparks from Wickham in 7, and Stefan Kravitz from Edinburgh University going in lane number 8. So very, very close contest this one. Might be Thomas Exall possibly in lane number 5. Also going well, Freddie Ashley Sparks in lane number 7. He might take it actually. Is it go to 7? Oh, it's Torres in lane 3. Ahead of the 2 that I mentioned. But Torres sneaks in there, 23.31 ahead of Ashley Sparks and Exall. 23.31. And just 0.1 of a second slower than his entry time.
Heat 6, Brian Leong, Chelsea and Westminster in 1, Alexandra Chalander, Marseille in 2, Niels Krostanja, Netherlands in 3, Thomas Fannin from Swim Ireland in 4, Alexander Cohoon from Loughborough in 5, Laskerud Bergen in 6, Bjornan Laskerud in 6, Oisin Tebbit from Swim Ireland in 7, and Evan Bailey, Swim Ireland in 8. So 3 Irish swimmers in this one, lanes 4, 7 and 8. But it's lane 3, Niels Krostanja from Netherlands who's going well. Is Thomas going to take him, or is it lane 6? Thomas Fannin just gets that. We're into 22s. First of the circle seeded heats. 22.34 for Thomas. Bjornan Laskerud second, Niels Krostanja in 3rd. So see whether they make it.
Wow. This is going to be tight to make it into this A final, that's for sure. A few swimmers on the 22-second mark. We've got Jigong, Fala Manatofi, Joshua Salko, Kenzo Simons, Maron Amir Cheruti, Jacob Mills, Jacob Osterville Harlem, and Luke Tunstall. That is the lineup here. They've got to be looking at low 22s if they're going to try to force their way into that final. Kenzo Simons in lane number 4, World Championship finalist, and also going well, Cheruti, an Olympic Games swimmer for Israel in it. And it is going to be Cheruti will get it, 22.37, just 3/100 slower than the swimmer in the previous heat. And it's a tie for second place, 22.85 apiece for Jigong and Jacob Mills. Great swim from the outside lane for Jigong, but are we in swim off territory?
Possibly. Jacob Mills just missing out on Lewis Burris's Edinburgh International youth record by 600. So let's see if he gets another swim this afternoon, or this evening I should say. Thomas Leggett in this last heat, lane 1, Maddox Roberts in 2, Renzo Chonajo from Netherlands in 3, Ben Proud in 4, Matthew Richards in 5, Calvin Fry in 6, Jacob Whittle in 7, Matthew Hamilton in 8. So Ben Proud is the meet record holder, Olympic Games silver medalist, and just missed out on that gold, but he's going to take this heat. 22.36. Matthew Richards not too far behind, 22.67, and Renzo and Jacob Whittle tie third. Oh, we may well be in swim-off. We may well be in swim-off territory here. Let's see. Oh, we are for 7th, so we don't get our swim-off. There we go. Those two just squeeze in. My goodness, 0.35 between the top 8. Alex Cohoon just missing out. 10th, equal 10th there. So
second reserve spot.
Second reserve spot may well have a swim-off between Z and Evan Jones in that very early heat, just missing out on a B final and a reserve spot. So very, very close, as you might expect on the 50 free. Well, that was good. Oh, we're in for a cracker this evening.
Yeah, they're all bunched up there. Ben Proud looked good in that last heat, but the others looked good in the previous heats as well. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Definitely.
Very interesting one.
Keep saying 5:30 this evening for the finals. Do join us back for that one. Moving now on to another set of 50s. This is the female 50 breaststroke, 7 heats.
Yeah, breaststroke event yesterday produced some excellent times in the 100 breaststroke, so we expect to see some quick times on this 50 as well. Maybe not in the heats this morning, but you've got to be there or thereabouts to make that final. Here's the lineup for the first of the 7 heats. Bronwyn Payne from Borders Elite Swim Team goes in 1. Lucy McLeod from Forth Valley in 2. Esme Hall from Borough Stockton in lane 3. Eva Harrington from Swim Munster in lane 4. Leona Casapidis from Carnegie in 5. Isabel Monarch from Morpeth in 6. And Katie Towers from Lanark in lane number 7. So entry times in this one, all in the 35-second range, all split by 0.3 of a second. And, well, all in a row as they go past the halfway point. That's the 15-metre marker coming up now. And no one really showing here. I wonder who's going to take this one. Choose any one lane from 7. Maybe lane number 3, possibly just coming through, Esme Hall. And she will take it in the end. Comfortably by half a second, but everybody else bunched up. But Esme Hall with that good finish, taking her into first place. Isabel Monarch in second, Iona Casapidis in third. But good time for Esme Hall. She'll be pleased with that slight improvement on the entry time.
Yeah, very nice. I think we're going to have quite a few close heats for the next little while. This one's got 0.4 between all 8 swimmers on entry time.
Eve Connery back in again.
Yeah, goodness. Anna McCarty in 1, youngster from City of Glasgow. Marie Wood in 2, Niamh Connery, as said, Amy Owenson in 4, Katie Coventry in 5, Alana Wilson in 6, Chloe Batty in 7, and Jessica Kirkwood in 8. So pretty tight again. Maybe lane 7, Chloe Batty, Isle of Man swimmer. Maybe just ahead. But nothing between all 8 really. Very similar to that previous heat. Who's going to pull away? Is somebody going to do an Esme Hall and pull away at the end? Oh, not as obviously. Maybe lane 3 again.
Oh,
and it was Niamh Connery. Golly, straight back in.
Lucky lane 3.
It is
Niamh
lucky
Connery.
lane 3. 35.5. Anna McCarty, youngster, gets second. And Katie Coventry takes third.
So third of the 7 heats, Katie Simpson, Edinburgh University, Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatic, Amy McLeod, City of Glasgow, Julia Salah from Stirling University, Lily Mundell, Heart of Midlothian, Maya Rogers from Warren de Bass, Lexi Lammett from Aberdeen, and well, a good start in at lane number 5 there. Julia Salah, not the best start from Amy McLeod. She's got a little bit catching up to do with that blue cap of the City of Glasgow. But she is moving through now. Lily Mundell going well in lane number 6. That Amy McLeod with that blue cap really coming through. She was maybe one of the last swimmers to come up at the start. She's come through into second. She's not going to catch Mundell. But Amy McLeod comes through into second. Mundell takes it 33.70. She'll be delighted with that one. 0.4 of a second improvement there on a 50. And that is not to be sniffed at there for Lily Mundell.
Good swim for the 15-year-olds. She was in the junior final last year. I think she's certainly put herself in a good position for that this year as well. Ellie Louise Kennedy in Heat 4 in lane 1. Perry Scobie in lane 2, Stirling Swimming. Ellie Kennington from Plymouth in 3. Caitlin Hartley, University of Bath in 4. Sarah Smith, Warren de Baths in 5. Anna Finlay, Derwentside and Gateshead in 6. Isabel McGeorge, Edinburgh University in 7. Amy Noble, Swim Leinster in 8. Caitlin Hartley is the fastest in, no swimmer in 3, so no Louise. Good start from Zara Smith, the Warren de swimmer, going well as well. Bath, University of Bath's Caitlin Hartley. Not a lot between these swimmers at all. Also going in outside of Zara is Anna Finlay from Derwentside and Gateshead. I think it's between these three. It's going to be Caitlin Hartley who's going to take this one. Strong swim here from her, 33.45, just over her entry, but the fastest swim thus far. I'm sure her dad Duncan will be very happy with that. 33.45 for Caitlin. Perry Scobie second, Anna Finlay gets third.
Into the seeded heats now. Ellen Bagley from Birmingham University in 1. Eve Coyne, Swim Ireland in 2. Lily Booker from Loughborough in lane number 3. Florine Gaspard, very fast entry time, 30.71. She goes in 4. Hannah Capron from Repton, the young 16-year-old, in lane 5. Rose van Otterdijk goes in 6. And Hannah Bowley in 7. And Cora Lanham in lane number 8. Well, let's see if Florine Gaspard can live up to the early billing. The Belgian swimmer going really well in the early stages, looking like she's well ahead of the others here. Lily Booker going well in lane number 3, and Capron and Van Otterdijk in 5 and 6, but it is going to be Gaspard into the wall now. 30.92, very close to her entry time, and a clear victory there over the rest of the field. It was Van Otterdijk in second, 32.16, and Booker just getting ahead of Capron for third place. That might be a vital touch for Lily Booker there. 32.60. 2 heats to come.
What a swim from Florine. That's really set the marker down for Cara and Anghara to follow. Cara in this heat, Lola Mallet in 1 from Thionville, Imogen Miles from Sevenoaks in 2, Anastasia Urbaniak from Thionville in 3, Cara Hanlon and in 4, Anna Morgan in 5, both Edinburgh Uni. Mabley Collier, Repton in 6, Emily Morgan Hughes from University of Bath in 7, Megan Jones from Leinster in lane 8. And pretty tight in this one. Maybe Cara just pulling away slightly with her teammate Anna Morgan at her side. And also Anastasia Urbaniak, the Thionville swimmer. But it's the 2 Edinburgh swimmers, Cara Hanlon and Anna Morgan, who are going to take this one. Cara touches it, 31.06, so only just off the swim of Florine in the prep before. So this is building into a cracking final. Anna, 31.3. I think those two are pretty comfortable for a final. We just have to 32s. There's a few swimmers on 32. So
well, it was 32.60 was third before, so 32.59 there. That's going to be very tight to make this a final. Emily McGee in the final heat is Will Kidney, Katie Goodburn, Anghara Evans, Sienna Robertson, Eleni Contegiorgio, Laura Kinley and Sophie Hamilton. That is the lineup. Anghara Evans had a great swim yesterday in the 100. He's been going head to head with Cara Hanlon over the last year or so in a number of distances, 50 in the 100 breaststroke especially. But she'll be the favourite for this one. In lane number 4, entry time of 30.55. Meet record held by Imogen Clark at 30.46. So we'll watch out for that one. Evans in lane number 4. Not a clear leader though. It's very, very tight right across the field. But coming into the finish, it will be Evans, I think, will get the touch. 31.73. Not sure she spotted the finish quite perfectly. 31.73 should be enough for that final. Sienna Robinson and Eleni Contagiorgio. Well, Robinson, I think, will be in. Not sure about Contagiorgio there.
No, I think she might just have snuck in. Katie's going to be on the margins, and it is Florin Fastis and Cara. Anna ahead of Ang Harrod there. So Elizabeth Booker and Hannah Capron will be reserves. Dead heat for 15th.
Was 100th of a second separating the finalists there.
It's very tight. And there you go. Caitlin and Laura will be reserves for the B final, and we've got a swim off, I suspect, for the B final second reserve. Unless somebody this afternoon can get down to that 30.
It might be a junior, possibly.
33. I think it'll be a tough ask.
Might decide not to swim or swim off if there's juniors involved, possibly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's see. But we've definitely got a dead heat for first and second reserve, or second reserve for the B final. We'll see how that unfolds. I think swimmers like doing swim offs. It usually gives them a chance to get a better time. They nearly always go much faster in a swim off than they did in the swim that they got themselves the tie. So maybe that will be something that will happen later on.
Did you ever swim a swim off, Tony?
I don't remember swimming a swim off. Did you?
No, I don't think so. Can't remember. No, I don't think so.
I'm almost tempted to say when I swam, I'm not sure they had hundredths of a second.
Yes,
but I think they did. Anyway.
I do, as we move on to the next one, the 800 freestyle, just to mention that I do remember they did swim offs in para multi-points events once, which was good. So they did them in points, they didn't do them in times.
Yeah.
But you ended up with like an S2 swimmer swimming against an S10, which made it quite exciting actually, because you knew what the target was roughly for the points. But a different type of swim.
Quite hard to monitor when you're, unless you've got a counter at the side or something.
Exactly, but swim off's always exciting no matter what form they take.
Absolutely. So moving in now, we've got more 800s. Settle down. We've got two of these. Good quality 800s here as well. We've got lots of quality distance swimmers. So in this first heat, we've got Dennis O'Brien. He swam a fantastic 1500 yesterday. 18-year-old from National Centre in Limerick. He's in 1. Josh Denham from Stirling Uni in 2. Matthew Warburton, University of Bath in 3. Richard Nagy from PZ Azeta in lane 4. He's the Slovakian, 32-year-old. In 5, Cameron Travis, University of Aberdeen Performance. Samuel Williams of Wickham District in 6, and Aidan Turner from Newcastle in lane 7. 59.3. First 50. First 100, sorry. And Matthew Warburton, Richard Nagy out there at the moment. And, settling into their pace. Matthew Warburton, Bath University swimmer. He's finalled at was in the top 10 at Bucks earlier in the year. Well, earlier this year, a month or so ago in Sheffield. But it's Richard Nagy, the Slovakian, in on an 8.18. And Matthew is trying to stick with him. Out in 7 as well. We've got Samuel Williams, a Wickham District swimmer. Trying to stick with them. He's a bit out of the way over there, but going to be trying hard not to lose touch with them. The rest of the field pretty much in a line. Richard, as you can see from those splits on the screen, just about half a second, a 50 faster than Matthew. And Matthew will be trying hard to cling on to Richard.
The oldest swimmer in the field, isn't he?
Yeah.
Richard, the 32-year-old.
He might well be the oldest at the whole event.
Possibly. There are some older swimmers swimming. I noticed yesterday, and there was a few I think there was one swimmer certainly in that was 30 years of age. A couple that were 30 years of age yesterday. So yeah, Richard could well be the oldest here. He's gone over there in 3:04. So he's around about 102, 103 possibly.
Yep.
For the 100. And he's just holding off the challenge of Matthew Warburton there, coming back strongly at the top in lane number 7 is Aidan Turner. Just looking down my my list there, I've got the swimmer in lane 8. I thought, who's in lane 8? It's not on my list, but Colin Levins goes in lane 8, of course. So Aidan Turner, Richard Nagy and Matthew Warburton. That's your 3 as they come down to halfway. Richard just with that edge at the moment. We'll just check the splits. So he's gone over in 4:08, and the split between Richard Nagy and Matthew Warburton almost identical, and they've just stretched away by a couple of tenths of a second from the chasing swimmer in lane number 7, Aidan Turner. So yeah, looking well paced. I wonder if anyone's going to push on in this second half of this race. It looked like Richard might have had a little bit of a plan there. He came off quite fast from that wall, but has he managed to get away from Matthew Warburton? He has, only about half a second more of an advantage. So
compared to the
Matthew's
last split, that's a long way.
Yeah.
So at halfway they were at 4:08. So if they can replicate that, which is not going to be easy, there'll be 8:18 was the entry time, so they're going to be a roundabout entry. And Richard did try and push away on that 100, but Matthew is stuck with him, and he's turning. Yep, so he's back to a 200th of a gap. So there was a half a second in the last 50, but this one he's maintained the same distance.
Matthew likes going downhill, I think.
That's what it must be.
Towards the end.
Yeah, he's definitely faster on the coming into the wall, and he's definitely stuck with Richard. This is going to turning into a good race. Aidan Turner trying hard over there in 7 to stick with them. Dennis O'Brien, he had a cracking 1500 yesterday, Dennis, and he's pushing hard on the second half of this 800. Bang on the same between Richard and Matthew, 32:02 there. Aidan really not that far behind, nor Dennis. So these 4 have pretty much swimming at the same pace. Just a bit of a distance between them. And blue cap there of Richard Nagy from Slovakia as they come up to 600. Maybe just lengthened the gap there, stretched the gap. Well, he did picked up 31.7. That was a faster 50 there from Richard. You could see he's trying to make a move, and he's created a half a second, more than half a second difference between him and Matthew. Trying to break him again. He's done this a couple of times, Richard, in this race. Is this one going to be conclusive? Looks a bit like it might, you know.
Yeah, the gap opening up now, I think, Tony. It's going to be difficult now for Matthew Warburton to close the gap. 3 lengths to go. Richard Nagy, the Slovakian, represented his country at the Olympic Games in the past. The Slovakian, so he's an experienced campaigner. And got the youngster from the University of Bath, and also the swimmer from Newcastle, the young 16-year-old. Well, we're in the wake of the experienced campaigner from Slovakia. He'll take the bell and expect him to go on to confirm this victory here. 7:18 at that 700 mark. So he might just be slightly outside his entry time of 8:18, but not by much.
No, I think he's maybe just going to duck under the 8:20 if he can up the pace slightly. Matthew in an 8:21, he's going to be slightly off that. Aidan 8:24, so they're all going to be slightly off their entries, but not that much. It's been good heat swimming in the morning from, well, it's heat declared winner swim, isn't it, in these 800s? They won't have the final. 31.1, so if he can get in on the 30 point, he might just get under that 8:20. He's looking like he's trying to push it on. Good swim here. And paced it really well. Went out in a 4:08. And he's pretty even splitting. Is he going to get under that 8:20? Very close, and he does. 8:19.50. Nice one there for Richard. It's funny, isn't it, these milestones, they do matter. It shouldn't, but getting under 8:19.99 sounds a lot better than 8:20.01, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, Matthew Warburton, 8:24 in second. He was there or thereabouts for long periods of that 800. Aidan Turner, 8:29, the young Newcastle swimmer. He'll be in third place. Dennis O'Brien. Another good performance for the Limerick swimmer in the distance events. But there is the result confirmed. Richard Nagy, the Slovakian, 8:19.50. And as you said, Tony, he's a heat declared winner, so all the times count. So that's the immediate target for this heat number 2. Although the fastest heat to be swum in the finals tonight, well, that'll feature the Whiffen brothers again, as we saw in the 1500. The Olympic champion in 800, Daniel Whiffen, goes tonight. Don't miss that one.
Absolutely not. And we've got GB Aquatics head coach Stephen Tigg on the live stream tonight, so that'll be interesting to get his take on the swims this evening. 5:30 this evening, that's coming along. And in this second heat this morning, we've got Luke McGee, Loughborough in lane 1, Sean McCann, Loughborough in 2, Milan Wojtko from Slovakian team Azeta, Thomas Trebilik from Swansea University in 5, Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University in 6, Matthew Baker, University of Bath in 7, Maxime Courtois, FFBN Belgium in lane 8. So some really good swimmers in this heat here. And maybe just out in the lead is lane 5's Thomas Trebilcock.
Might be lane 1 actually going well too, isn't it? Oh no, you're right, lane 5 and lane 1 is second.
Pretty close though, 58.19. He's third at the British Summer Champs. Thomas in lane 1, Luke McGee, a very promising youngster. Luke had a very unfortunate year last year, was really on fire and was really not well at the beginning of the season, so didn't perform as he would have liked. He would have probably been thinking he would be at the European Juniors, but just missed out on that. But he's back on form, fit and healthy, now at Loughborough, up in the northeast originally. But he's pushing along with Thomas. Also in 4, Milan Wojtko, the the Slovakian, 8:06, 18-year-olds. And it's still pretty close across the majority of this field. Arthur Logan in 6, not too far behind. The Edinburgh University swimmer. Based in Brighton originally, but 1:59.6 at the 200. So repping around 61.5. So we're looking at maybe not far off their entries, maybe not quite at the 8:06 pace, but we'll see. Still Thomas, he's been ahead from the first 50, and he's trying to hold that pace. Luke McGee still second. It's very close across them all. Look at that, 2:31. 3 of them in the 2:31, so there's really nothing between Milan and Arthur Logan. They're starting to lose Sean McCann, and out there in lane 8, Maxime Courtois and Matthew Baker, and these 4 are possibly pulling away from the other 3. But it's still Thomas, 3:01.72.
Yeah, still pretty close there. Luke McGee still holding on to second position. No one really making a decisive move on the high 30s and into the 31 range for that previous 50. But centre lane, Thomas Trebilcock just beginning to push away. Looks from that angle like Luke McGee just maybe falling off the pace a little, and the swimmers in the middle going ahead. But he is right there. He's still in second, and that's a deceptive angle He swam exactly the same split as Thomas. Arthur Logan was 5/100ths faster. And as we see as the picture levels out, Luke McGee still very much in the mix here as they've come down to the halfway point. We'll get an idea on what kind of times we're looking at when they hit halfway. But everyone swimming very, very similar splits at the moment. I just wonder if anyone is going to make a little bit of a move in the second half of this one. Thomas Trebilcock just getting in ahead of the 31-second mark, and he's maybe pushing it on just very slightly. Arthur Logan now maybe moving through into second, but McGee out there on his own. Nobody will be aware of him in the outside lane. He's doing a good job swimming this one on his own, but the swimmers in the middle now maybe starting to put a little bit more pressure on.
Arthur now just ahead, 1/100th of a second. These two have been nip and tuck for the last 200 or 300, and the challenge to Milan may well come from the challenge to Thomas may well come from the Edinburgh University swimmer next to him, Arthur Logan. That's pretty close, isn't it? He's a silver medalist at the Scottish Short Course, Arthur, and the National Open Championships last summer in this pool. Thomas, Luke now back ahead of Arthur, so he's seen the challenge and he's accepted that. 5:06.21. So still going to be under 8:10, I would think. And Luke is pushing on with Arthur. But nobody has challenged Thomas from the gun, and he's still the fastest in the pool. Luke McGee's just had a little spurt here in this fifth 100. Arthur came back at him, but Luke's having none of that, and he's back into the second place. Can he, though, pick up the pace to catch Thomas Trebilcock, the Swansea University swimmer? Doesn't look like it at the moment. This has been a good swim from Thomas.
Yeah, 31.09. He's opened up the gap again by another half second. He looks like he's ramping up on the long run home. He's still got 200 metres to go. And Luke McGee's done a great job out there on his own in lane number 1. Arthur Logan still very much in the mix here for second place. And Thomas Trebilcock is stretching away though at the front of the field. 31.18. You'll see he's opened up another 0.3 of a second gap. 6:39.52 for him. And I think, as you say, Tony, it's probably going to be around about that kind of 8:10 mark or so. We'll just have a little check of the split when they come down to this bottom end. They'll take the bell. Don't think anyone is going to catch the leader. Now, Thomas coming in to take the bell. 7:10.74. So he might just be somewhere just over the 8:10 mark. Luke McGee, 7:13. He had an entry time of 8:13, so he's going to be thereabouts on that one. And Arthur Logan still in third position. Don't think these positions are going to change now, although Milan Wojcicki is making a little bit of an effort to try and get back on terms with Logan here.
Yeah, looks like Luke has seen off Arthur, and it's now whether Arthur can hold off Milan. It's going to be tough in this last 50. Arthur dropped off there, and Milan is now catching up Arthur. Has he got enough legs? And this, look at that kick there, you can see that's Thomas in the middle, Arthur on the left, Milan on the right. You can see Milan really pushing hard, as is Thomas in the middle here. Rapid rate as he's coming up to the wall. And is he going to get under the 10? Not quite, but that's a good swim from Thomas. 8:10.38. Luke McGee gets second, 8:15, and it is Milan just edging out Arthur. 29.38 for Milan there in that last 50. He came back strong, as did Thomas. 28.72. That was a super last 50 for him. And less than 2 seconds off his entry there. So Thomas should be pretty pleased. So 4 seconds for his entry. Should be pretty pleased with that though. Luke McGee. coming in pretty close to his. That was a good race there. Fastest heat to come this evening.
Yeah, one to look forward to. See if the Whiffen brothers can repeat that 1-2. Harry Wynne-Jones will be there as well. He challenged Nathan Whiffen last night in the 1500. That was an interesting one.
It was a good race.
Well, here's the first heat of the 200 freestyle, female 200 freestyle. Again, some well-known names in this one. Holly McGill goes in lane number 1. Stirling University. Fleur Verdonk from Svenfed goes into Nelly Kinch and Michaela Glenister in 3 and 4. They're both Stirling University. Catherine Renfrew from Perth City goes in lane number 5. Paige Stepanoff from the Canadian junior team back in for another race after that impressive 800 that we saw earlier this morning. Hannah Capron from Repton in 7, and Mary Craig from Edinburgh University in lane number 8. Final set of events for this morning. 5 heats of this 200 freestyle. So again, we'll watch out for the young Canadian, Tony. She's been impressive in lane number 6, and she's right up there at the front of the field. 29.34 level with Fleur Verdonk, and 8/100ths ahead of Mary Craig. This Canadian team, well, we've seen them over distance freestyle, we've seen them in individual medleys, but they've all been really strong on the freestyle element of that medley, haven't they?
Yeah, no, and Paige clearly decided they had a choice between a 200 free or a 400 IM, so the rest of them took 400 IM, but Paige decided she was going to stick with the freestyle. So far, that's paying off well. She's just dropped slightly to 3rd, but really not a lot in that. Mary Craig, the Edinburgh Uni swimmer, trains in this pool regularly, and she took the lead at the 100 there, out in lane 8, just over the minute, 1:00.83. But it's pretty close with her. Paige Stepanoff now maybe just edging ahead, as well as Michaela Glenster from Stirling Uni, and it is Paige back in the lead. Just had a bit of a drop in that second 50, but all of a sudden she's decided that's not good enough, and much faster than everyone else on that one, nearly a second faster on that third 50. So really pushing through strong in the second half of this race is Paige Stepanoff, a youngster from Canada, 16-year-old.
Going really well, isn't she? She's going to take this one.
Nice swim from her.
Nice finish, nice last 100. She certainly wasn't stepping off the gas.
Oh, you've been saving that one up all day, haven't you?
No.
Come on.
It just came to me.
Any more?
No, I'm
fine. Come on.
I'm done. I'm done now. It's been a long morning.
Yeah.
It's been a good morning though, isn't it?
Yeah, we had something similar yesterday where there's two Stirling swimmers were nip and tuck all the way through, and we decided it was a Stirling effort from them. So,
all right, okay.
So almost as bad as you're stepping off the gas. So anyway, moving on to Heat 2. Anna Farrow, University of Bath in 1. Emily Richards from Manchester Performance Centre in 2. Maria Godden, Swim Ireland in 3. Lucy Fox from Loughborough Performance Centre in 4. Ellen Walsh back in the pool again. Swim Ireland in 5. Elizabeth Lan, Newcastle in 6. Mula van Viek, Netherlands in 7. And Drew Mackenzie, Edinburgh University in lane 8. So Ellen Walsh back in the pool. And
she's impressed us, the swim she's done already this morning.
Yeah.
And back in again, lane number 5. Let's see where she stands. Mula van Viek, Emily Richards, Ellen Walsh, and Elizabeth Land level with Ellen Walsh there, 29.1, but early days. And looking like Van Viek over there in lane number 7. Bringing them down to the halfway point.
On the Flanders Cup, where she did her entry time, 2:03.23, Milou. She's looking good here. She's still in the lead. Nope. Ellen Walsh has come through just under the minute there, 59.99, so just under a second faster than 100 in the previous heat. She's come through strong on this middle section of this race, and all of a sudden she's got herself nearly a body length lead, and there's 4 swimmers pretty much in a line behind her. Elizabeth Land, the Newcastle 16-year-old, in 6, and down here in 2, Emily Richards. But it's Ellen Walsh, still the fastest in the pool, 1:31.27.
This isn't one of the cyclically seeded heats, but you wouldn't bet against anyone from this heat trying to force their way certainly into a B final, and possibly, if Ellen Walsh keeps this going, maybe into an A final.
Yep, she did a 2 minute, just over 2 minutes at the McCullum meet, which she won a few weeks ago, 2:0.39, Ellen, so she's got more recent fast form. Not quite on that, but not far off it. 2:01.72. So that is going to challenge, I would say, for a B final at least. She's going to be a busy girl this evening. Second, Emily Richards. Milou van Beek just fading away slightly to get third. I'm not sure that's going to be enough for a B final, but we'll just have to wait and see as we move into the first circle seeded heat. Annabel Compton, Wickham District in 1, Katie Shanahan, Stirling University in 2, Victoria Catterson from Swim Ireland in 3, Marit Steenbergen, Swim to Netherlands team in 4, Lucy Hope from Stirling Uni in 5, Maylene Bessard, Grenoble in 6, Angelina Roman from the Netherlands in 7, Honey Osren, Loughborough Performance Centre in lane 8. So this is the first of those cycle seeded heats. Marit Steenbergen, the Dutch swimmer, just missed out on a final at the World Championships in this event, and she's the fastest qualifier. Lucy Hope, Scottish swimmer, podium potential, Scottish senior team.
Yeah, almost a fixture in the GB 4x200 relay team in recent years, Lucy Hope, so she'll be hoping for another good season. And, I was speaking to Lucy Hope just after the Olympics, actually. We were talking about the Commonwealth Games. I didn't realise that she'd gone to Glasgow in 2014. It was her first big one, so 12 years later she might be back again. All being well for Lucy Hope. She's going well in the early stages here. Angelina Roman leads them through. Marit Steenberger in second. In fact, they're not in second, they were equal in first place there, 28.38 apiece. And Lucy Hope in lane number 5 going well, maybe coming through to challenge for the lead. Possibly might be her GB teammate who's challenging her in lane number 2, Katie Shanahan. It's all very close indeed.
Looks a bit cagey, doesn't it? They're all just sizing each other out.
Not much in it at all, only 0.3 of a second. Angelina Roman was the one that went over first up there in lane number 7, still looking pretty good. Her position all important, 2 more heats to come, of course, so you know, if you can get into the top 2 in this heat, gives yourself a good chance of making that final. But we've seen 5 swimmers qualify in 2 events this morning from the final heat, so you know, you've got to post the time as well. Roman, Bessard, Hope now in 3rd position. She could really do with getting up into 2nd place here, and it's those 3 lanes, 5, 6 and 7, looks like they're going to fight out this top 3 positions. But Angelina Roman has swum this pretty well. Looks like she is going to hold on to this one. It's going to be close for 2nd between 3 swimmers. Oh, very tight indeed as they all come in together. And Lucy Hope on the wrong side of that touch, finishing in 4th, 3/100ths of a second between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Roman takes it though, 2 minutes 0.52. But look at that, Steenbergen, Bessard and Hope absolutely together, and very that could be vital.
Yeah, and Roman there won the B final last year at this event, and looks like she's upgraded to an A final this year, unless these last 2 heats really do something special, which is possible. There are 8 swimmers in this. These next 2 heats have gone under 2 minutes, so let's see. And in the first of those, Jessica Podger, University of Bath in 1, Amy Monks, Swansea University in 2, Manny de Jong from the Netherlands in 3, Freya Colbert, Loughborough Performance Centre in 4, Medi Harris from the Not Swimming Jemima Hall, University of Bath in 6, Laura Stevens, Loughborough in 7, Mia Sleven from Loughborough in lane 8. So that last heat was a bit cagey, and some of them may miss out as a result. I wonder if these swimmers are going to learn from that and try and push it hard to get into that one of those finals. Freya Colbert, another one of the Olympic Games and World Championship 4x2 relay teams. Silver medal at Worlds, just missed out on a medal at the Olympics. She's the current reigning British champion, Freya, and she's looking good. She's not hanging about, I don't think. 28.2 in the first 50. This looks like a strong second 50. 58.1, that is faster by nearly a second on the previous heat. So I think Freya just want to make sure in this one. Jemima Hall trying to stick with her, the University of Bath swimmer.
Yeah, it's be interesting if you can get in or around the 2-minute mark. Should be enough, we think, for the A final. Can never take anything for granted, of course, with some cracking swimmers to come in the final heat. Freya Colbert looking to secure that. Look at that, 129.18, bang on course for around about 2 minutes there. Jemima Hall, Jessica Podger had a good swim yesterday. Jessica Podger in the distance event, so she came through very strongly. So let's see what she can do in that near side lane, in lane number 1. But Freya Colbert back in the water after that 400 IM, that impressive time in the 400 IM as well. And she is going to take this one, working hard into the wall and under the 2-minute mark. Well done, Freya Colbert. Looking very good indeed. Jemima Hall, 201.35 again. Well, the 201.3 range.
We've got a dead heat,
Yeah.
202.56 for third. Not sure that'll trouble the A final, but just going to have to wait and see. So it's pretty tight.
It's very tight indeed. So, final heat are on the way. Valentine Leclerc from Grenoble in 1. Yara van Kalmthout from Netherlands in 2. Leah Slushen from Manchester Performance in 3. Freya Anderson from Bath Performance Centre in 4. Abby Wood from Loughborough Performance in 5. Holly Hibbett from Bath Performance in 6. Grace Davison from Swim Ireland in 7. And Evelyn Davis from Stirling Uni in lane number 8. So Freya Anderson is the meet record holder, joint meet record holder with Jazz Carlin. And again, another one of these swimmers that has been featured in the highly successful GB relay team in recent years. But, you know, Freya Anderson, probably for almost the last decade, has been one of the stars of the GB swim squad. And she, remember at the Olympic trials, she competed while suffering from glandular fever, still managed to make the qualification standard. That was an incredible performance.
Not bad, is it? Unfortunate timing, really. And she needs to be really careful, I think, from that meet, that she didn't overstretch herself and push her back, because it was a long recovery. And I think there were tests going on daily just to see where her levels were at, to see if she was fit enough to swim, but she did. Got through. And pretty close here, though, isn't it? Lanes, Evie Davis, Stirling swimmer, out there in lane 8. And Freya, Leah and Abby in the middle. That's not a lot. This is very tight. This is another cagey one. And it's going to be really tight across all 4 swimmers here. Look at that, 0.27 between the 4 of them. Abby Wood at the lead at the moment. Evie and Freya. Freya coming through and Abby. It looks like the 2 experienced swimmers are starting to come through here, and it is Freya and Abby. Leah Sloshen, the youngster, Manchester swimmer, trying to stick with them, but it's going to be between Freya and Abby, and they're going to be around about the 159 mark. 2:019, 2:020. So Abby just touching. This is going to be tight to see who's in this A final.
Some of the 201s will be in. I think Lucy Hope might just have missed out with that really close touch.
100th of a second could be the difference for Lucy between an A and a B final. Let's see. And it is, maybe, 2:01.38 there. Maylene Bessard is the last in. And I think it is Lucy Hope. Was she not 2:01.39?
I think so, yeah.
There you go,
Yeah.
100th of a second. She's in good company. She's got Ellen Walsh. So that'll be a good one if they both swim that. Ellen's going to have a busy night tonight. But good swimming there. Very, very close. But that's going to be another cracking final. Freya Anderson, Abby Wood, Freya Colbert, and Angelina Roman doing really well in that earlier heat and has got herself into the A final. Now we're just finishing off the results from this morning, and that is the conclusion of the swimming this morning. There's been some great races. There'll be some even more exciting races this evening as the finals come in at 5:30. We've got another session of swimming at 12:30 though. There you go, coverage begins at 12:25 here at the Royal Commonwealth Pool. That is the slower heats of the same events that we've had this morning. Mainly the younger swimmers looking to get in those junior finals, but we have had some others getting into the A and B, so hopefully you'll join Paul and I in just over an hour as we sign off now from this morning's session, and we look forward to seeing you all watching later on, either in the afternoon session or the final. But have a good lunchtime break, and we'll see you at 12:30. Yeah, it's quite loud, isn't it? It's quite loud. It's there. I mean, it's there, but you don't. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely there.